Welcome back into Rounding Third Baseball, episode 333, interview with former Red Sox outfielder Jonathan Van Every. I'm crazy excited about this one. Can't wait to get into this. I'm Nick. We have Harrison tonight. How are we doing tonight, Harrison?
Fantastic, Nick. Can't wait to get into this one. This is going to be a fun one. So how are you?
Yeah, pretty good. Always good to have a former Red Sox on the show. As everybody knows, we are pretty diehard Red Sox fans. Maybe not so much this year, but it's a story for a different day. But we will get Jonathan on here in a second. But first, make sure you follow and like us on Facebook. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can also follow on Instagram, Rumble, and TikTok. You can also listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. We also have our affiliate sponsors, Logitech, MLB Shop, and Lids. You can find these links on the tops of all of our socials. So if you do any shopping with these companies, please use our links as we get a nice little kickback with no additional cost to you. Just a great way to support the show. We also have Rounding Third merch on Etsy. If you search Rounding 3RD Baseball on Etsy, you'll find sweatshirts, t-shirts, tumblers, phone cases, whole bunch of stuff to get our name out there and to support us as well. And finally, on Patreon, we're building this community to really help support creators like Harrison and myself. Pretty much the only platform that is supporting creators right now. So please check us out, Rounding Third Baseball on Patreon. All right, here we go. We're going to welcome on the show Jonathan Van Every. How are we doing tonight, Jonathan?
Hello, guys. Great. Fantastic. Finally glad I get to sit outside and enjoy a nice night.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, thanks for coming on. Pretty cool. I saw your name come across, and like I said, huge Red Sox fans. And remember when you were up with them for a few years, and I was like, man, like I wonder, like let me send a message and see what happens. So really appreciate you taking the time and coming on, talk some ball.
No problem. Happy to be here.
All right, so let's start right at the beginning, talking like high school. Where did your spark of the love of baseball like come from?
Wow. Boy, you're pulling me way back. Let me dig in the memory bank. So I guess when my mom always said my first word was ball. So I grew up Central Mississippi guy, Carrollton originally, and then we moved to Jackson later. But they had these big horse apples on the side of the road, fruit just sitting in the ditch. And I would point at them and say ball. So I guess that's kind of where it started. And just grew from there. Always had a knack for baseball ever since I was probably 3, 4, maybe even earlier. And my parents would always say, even when I was playing t-ball and coach pitch, hey, we're here to see the boy from Carrollton. I didn't even have a name. I was just the boy from Carrollton for a couple of years. So yeah, it just kind of flourished, and I literally played it every single year of my life until I was 31 years old. Hard to believe. It was a long time. So for about 20, 27 years, I lived, breathed, ate, and slept baseball. So still fond of the game. It always will have a piece of my heart, and thankful for the time I had, and have a lot of memories to cherish along the way.
Now, as a child, was that a big baseball community you were in, or was it just came to you?
Not really. It was just natural. I just had I had a natural ability. I probably didn't perfect it as well as I should have, but from a young age, the separators, the kids, you just have natural gift. You can only teach so much to a kid up until they're probably what 10, 11. They start to kind of grasp some knowledge, but the ones that are 3, 4, and 5, it's a God-given talent. Hand-eye coordination, and just have a knack for the game, and playing catch, and hitting a ball with a plastic bat, or picking up a rock and hitting it with a broomstick, or playing wall ball with throwing a golf ball against a brick wall and seeing how quickly you can react and catch it with a small glove. So there's all kind of little games that you can play as a kid to kind of enhance your skills while not even knowing that you're enhancing skills. You just know that you're having fun, right? It's all about having fun. So anything with a stick and a ball and a wall and a glove was fun for me my whole life. So
Yeah, I feel that, man. I used to go out with my glove and a tennis ball and a tennis racket, and I would
yeah,
toss it up and hit the racket as hard as I could against the wall, and then try to field it. So like
yeah,
I feel you. Like just little stuff like that is
Yeah,
absolutely incredible.
wall ball was my
yeah.
jam.
That's
Anybody that would
it.
play with me, I'd play alone if I had to, but I would play with anybody that wanted to play.
Of
Mhm.
course. Yeah, try wall ball with a little golf ball. Then that's the next level. Is that on a brick wall? There's a lot of imperfections in a brick wall. You ever never know which direction that thing's going to bounce.
Yeah. I would have been kicked out of my house if I started doing that,
Yeah.
but
Not if you're good. If you're good, you
well,
won't.
that's fair. Fair,
Yep.
fair point.
Fair.
At what point in your career did you go, man, like I really have something to get to the next level here?
Uh, Great question. I, I guess in high school, I kind of thought maybe I would have an opportunity at the next level, not even pro ball, but just college ball. It wasn't until probably I I have a very back and forth story, so shut me down when the time is right. So I guess when I went to my first year of JUCO ball, I was playing, doing really well, and had a lot of success, and finally realized like, wow, I am kind of good. This is working out, and lo and behold, after that year, I ended up getting drafted and didn't sign, but uh, kind of knew that yeah, maybe I do have what it takes to get to the next level, which was a far cry from the year before because I had redshirted at Ole Miss and never saw the field. Never really took BP. They just wanted me to pitch, and never was really a part of any kind of team there. I was just felt like an outcast the entire time. And going into the last year, I guess after the season, they always have like follow up interviews. Sorry, and they cut my scholarship. And
Mm,
so I was just left fending for myself, figuring out where to go to play. So I found a spot to play at JUCO at Etowamba and met a lot of great people there. Had a lot of connections. That's the only reason I got there. I knew the coach and he had recruited me to go to a different team. But it was kind of that first and second year of junior college where I was playing every day for a while and finally realized like, man, I'm pretty good. I'm one of the better guys on the field. Maybe I do have what it takes to get to the next level. So it was a little bit later in life. I think a lot of guys realize that, probably in high school or early high school, they're like, hey, I know I have a natural gift. I always, people are going to call me stupid for saying this, but I always had a confidence complex, right? I expected a lot of myself, but I was always wondering, like, am I really that good? Am I really good enough to beat the guy on the other side of the field? So those are just some inner demons that I've always kind of fought with. But some of those got quelled that first year of junior college when I was really having a lot of success.
that's incredible. So drafted by Cleveland Indians, 29th round, correct?
God, yeah,
Mhm.
29th round. I don't even think they have
20
29 rounds anymore, do they?
I don't even know
No,
how many. They gotta have
no,
a
they I think they stop at 20 now, don't they? I think they shaved it down.
I think
yeah,
so. Back then they had like 100. So,
It
getting drafted was it was
crazy.
crazy. So go back to the draft day. Uh so I got drafted in the 29th round. It was like pick, I can't remember, like seven, just call it 784. And I had my teammate was his name was Ben Lindsay. He was an Australian exchange student. He was living with us for the summer because he wasn't going to go back to Australia. He was a starting pitcher, did really well. So this is before the age of cell phones, right? This is before 9/11. Everybody's got landlines. The only guys that have cell phones are like the Zach Morris phone in the bag, dragging it around. So
Yeah.
phone rings, and I'm on the phone with Cleveland. They said they just drafted me, and so now the Yankees are 2 picks later, they're trying to get through. They can't get through to tell Ben Lindsay that, "Hey, by the way, we just drafted you." So it was a bit of a chaotic scenario for about 10 minutes on the landline phone during draft day.
That's incredible. So first reporting to professional baseball. What was that? What was that?
Sorry,
He's fine.
you got a
He's fine.
side guest.
I got one lane right next to me, so it's all good, man.
Yours behaves
Um
way better.
yeah, she knows it's podcast night. She comes in and lays down. But so you finally get to pro ball, and what is your like you get there, what are your initial feelings like getting to camp and all of that?
Well, so I signed as a draft and follow. So for those that are listening, don't understand that process. It doesn't exist anymore. So when you got drafted, that team would hold your draft rights for a full year, and they could sign you at any point. So in my situation, I got drafted in 2000, but I signed about 3 weeks before the next draft in 2001. So I went down to extended spring training. So all the kids that don't make a full season club out of camp, they have what's called extended spring training. So I don't even know if that exists anymore, but so they'll stay, kind of do the whole spring training thing all over again, trying to get better through repetition, and then they'll get shipped off to a short season team. In our case, it would have been either Mahoning Valley or Burlington, North Carolina. So, sorry, I got a little tickle in my throat.
You're good.
Let me have a whiskey real quick.
All set.
That cures
Love it.
everything.
I love
Gracious.
it.
Golly. So, golly, sorry.
You're all right.
Give me 1 second, guys.
You're good. No worries. Take your time.
All right. Think I got it.
Okay.
So, I show up to extended spring training, get all my medical stuff out of the way, and is this R rated or not?
Go ahead.
So,
It's all
all
good.
right, here we go. So I didn't have any shower shoes or anything. It was just me, 21-year-old kid, didn't know any better. Walk right into the shower, and see there's a kid in there. He was a starting pitcher for the previous year. His name's Devin Rogers. Super nice guy from New Orleans. He's about 6'6", 240, big boy, well built. And I'm over there in the shower, and I see him get in there, and I'm like, oh, sweet God, is everybody in pro ball built like this guy? Because I'm just like trying to cuddle in the corner and hide. So I was at that point I was terrified. But then I finally got introduced to a couple other guys, and my my emotions calmed down a little bit. But yeah, that was. And then first year, I mean, I was used to hitting 300. I probably hit 250, 260. I can't remember the numbers, but
252. You crushed it.
Wow, there you go, statistician, right on the button.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, playing every day versus twice a week in JUCO was a challenge. It was a little bit different, and it takes a little bit of time to get used to, because you gotta, you're working on recovery, your muscle memory. You're basically doing the same thing over and over each day versus 2 days a week. So training had to change, mindset had to change. You have a bad day, you don't have 3 days to think about it. You got to get out there tomorrow, the next day, and fight and try and get better. So it was a good learning process. I ended up getting hurt at the end of my first season, so mine was cut a little short. But no, I learned a lot, met a lot of good people, and just kind of tried to build off of that, try to get better each year. It didn't stats will not say that, but I mentally I felt like I was getting better each year.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're at low A, you get up to high A, you come up to, let's go double A in 2005 with Akron. What was that step? Was that a massive step for you, or did you notice a difference really?
Honestly, I thought hitting was easier the farther up I got. The big step for me was, since you're the statistician, what did I hit in 2003? Let's do that.
2003, you hit 193 with Lake County and 262 with Mahoning Valley.
Yeah, there we go. So the 193. So I struggled mightily, struggled very bad. And probably after that year, I thought, I was probably going to get released. This is it. And then went into the off season, met a good dude from Jackson as well, named Chad Alexander, and he basically acted as my hitting coach in the off season. Kind of retooled my swing and worked really hard all off season. Got back to spring camp in 04. I was thinking I'd be lucky to make a team, any team, or just stay in extended spring training. So somehow I had a really good camp. I killed it, crushed it, did really well, and made the high A team. I was the fourth outfielder on the roster. Guy gets hurt first week of the season. I step in, and here we are at the halfway point. I'm hitting like 292 with, I don't know, 9 or 10 home runs. Ended the year with 20 something home run. I can't remember, 21 maybe, 21, 22, somewhere in there.
21.
21.
There we go. With a 276 average. So probably, in my opinion, probably one of the best years I had, given where I came from the year before. went up a level and had a lot more success. And so I just tried to keep building off of that.
Do
Still
you
striking out a lot, but
do you,
go
do you
ahead.
feel that's because like pitchers are more in tune to the strike zone, like they're around the plate more? Do you think, or that was just your
I think that's
kind
part
of
of
you
it,
getting
but
better?
another part of it was, I retooled my swing completely. I was a very big in and out of the zone really fast. I have very, still to this day, very strong wrists, and so that's what helps me generate a lot of my power because I'm a lanky guy, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not supposed to hit long home runs, but I did. I hit a lot of long home runs, but I also struck out a lot. So my bat would get in and out of the zone very quick. And that off season, I really focused on trying to get in the zone and stay in the zone as long as possible to give me the, as far as percentages wise, the best chance of success. So, uh, I I guess, more of a flat plane swing, made a little bit more contact and made a lot of hard contact. So when I hit the ball, it usually went a very long way or was hit
yeah,
hard somewhere.
yeah.
So always my struggle was actually hitting the ball.
If
So if you look at '04, '05, I guess some of '06, '07 a little bit, even '08, you'll see the home run numbers. It looks like they just came out of nowhere. But I always kind of hit home runs, even in high school and JUCO. But my first couple of years of pro ball, I struggled to put the bat on the ball. And then I retooled my swing a little bit that off season after '03 and really kind of catapulted my power numbers.
Yeah, I mean your numbers in 2007 overall was is like the stat lines we kind of see today. 12 home runs, you have 105 strikeouts, but you hit 307.
That's impressive. You do the math on that. How many balls put in play were hits versus outs? That's a very high percentage. I
Yeah, a
bet.
lot. That
Yeah.
that batting average on balls in play stat was very high for you.
Yeah. So there's a couple things to be attributed to that. One, I was pissed off. Uh, I was very pissed off. So after spring training that year, they were going to send me back to Double A, and being third year Double A guy, I can see the writing on the wall. And I went and asked for my release. I was like, "Look, guys, I mean, you're sending me back to Double A for the third year in a row. You're basically telling me you don't have a spot for me. That's fine. I get it. It's a business. Release me. Give me an opportunity to go somewhere else and chase my dream." And here's a direct quote from it was Ross Atkins. I guess I have no allegiance to anybody in baseball, so I'll throw them all under the bus. Ross Atkins, he's I don't know where he's at now. I think he was with Toronto. He may have bounced around the front offices. I haven't kept up, but he was a farm director at the time. He said, "Look, if we release you, what if you go to the big leagues with Tampa Bay? How does that make us look?" And I just wanted to crawl over the table and punch him in the face. And it's not an image contest. It's my life. Like, I'm giving you everything
Right.
I got, and to you, you're worried about your image. And so I just at that point, I lost respect for not only him but everybody in that organization, and I made it a point to try and prove him wrong. And
Yeah.
lo and behold, 2 years later, I did prove him wrong. I
Yeah.
hit a walk-off home run at Cleveland in a Boston uniform against the same people that told me I sucked. So
That's
that's
yeah.
my little vindication. That's
Oh,
my little mini victory. It wasn't in a World Series setting. It wasn't in the playoffs. There may be 15,000 people in the stands because nobody goes to games in Cleveland. But for me, that was a very vindicating moment to be on that field in a different jersey against the same people that I had played with for the last 7 years
yeah.
and be able to put them down.
Well, and you
Absolutely
went to
incredible.
Pawtucket in 2008, and you absolutely raked in Pawtucket. You
Well,
took that anger with you.
I did. But if you look at that team in '08, everybody raked. Everybody raked. So Jeff Bailey, the leadoff hitter, he had 20 plus home runs. Joe Thurston, he hit over 300 that year. Chris Carter, he had 20 plus home runs. I had 20 plus home runs. George Kateras, the catcher, I think
Contreras, yeah.
he had 20 plus home runs. So you can say, yeah, that whole team raked. Like, we should have won the league that year. I think we just kind of ran out of juice or out of steam at the end. But
Yeah.
yeah, we had a lot of success at the plate that year.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Wow.
So 2008, we're in Pawtucket. So how did you get to Pawtucket to begin with?
So I was a minor league free agent. So when you sign, you have your contract obligated no matter what, unless it's predetermined, like the first round, I call them bonus babies, unless you have some kind of preconceived, pre-written contract. The basic contract back in the day was 6 full seasons. So that first half season, when you get drafted, that doesn't count. It's 6 full after that. So finally, my contract expired after '07. I got pissed off. I did well. Um, that was a contract year for me. I was worried Cleveland was going to call me up or put me on the 40 man and protect me. Thankfully, they didn't. I would have been very upset if they did. But, gave me an opportunity to go somewhere else. And I had a lot of phone calls the first day of free agency wanting my services. And, ended up signing with Boston. Had a phone chat with Theo, and I said to y'all just won the World Series. How can I say no? I'm in, dude. So
Yeah,
going into camp that year, I was a kid in a candy store. It was great. I mean, this team just won the World Series, and here I am, this podunk nobody from Mississippi is in camp with all these guys, and I was the first guy running around trying to get a ball signed by the world champions. So somewhere in my house stashed, I still have a baseball signed by pretty much the entire 2007 World Series team.
that's
Um, s-
incredible.
so, but yeah, I got to Pawtucket that year. First at bat, hit a home run right down the left field foul pole. Still don't know how that happened, but ended up having a lot of success along with a lot of the other guys on the team. And we had a good group. We had a lot of fun. There were kind of a lot of other minor league journeymen on that same squad, and we just kind of gelled together and picked each other up and had a lot of fun. Like Charlie Zink, he was a minor league journeyman. He knuckleball guy. I mean, how many
Hmm.
knuckleball guys get to the big leagues these days? I mean, they're few and far between. He got to the big leagues.
Yeah,
He got to have a start at Fenway, which is I'm sure his shining moment in his career. So just like it is mine. So it was pretty awesome. I remember being in Buffalo in '08. We were playing Cleveland's AAA, and I get a call 8 a.m. from Ron Johnson, RJ, and he's like, "You're going to the show." Like, what are you talking about? It's like, get your shit, get on the plane in an hour and a half, get to Baltimore. You're going on the show. It's like, oh my god. So that was a very special moment.
yeah.
So
Was that a? Oh, go ahead, Harrison.
I'll say, so when you got to Boston and saw John Farrell, he was actually a familiar face to you, right? You had a history with John Farrell, am I
I
correct?
did. So John was a farm director at Cleveland. So he got hired, I think in I can't remember the exact year, maybe '02, '03, somewhere in there. So he was the farm director in Cleveland, player development for a number of years. And it's funny, up to that point, I always thought he was my biggest adversary, but in turn, he was one of my biggest fans. He just never told me that. And so for to this day, he's probably on a fishing boat somewhere off the coast of Maine. But to this day, I'll always be grateful for him believing in me. And I never really got to tell him thank you for that. But so, John, if you're listening, I just want to say thank you for having the faith and believing in me to be a good player. And yeah, it was pretty awesome. I know he was instrumental in getting me there. I still remember taking my team physical around Thanksgiving, right after they just won the World Series, and first guy I see is Terry Francona at a hospital getting a physical. I'm like, what's this guy doing here? He just won the World Series. You should be on a tropical island somewhere. But that's just Tito, man. Tito loves baseball. He's going to be around baseball no matter where he's at. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, it was a lot of familiar faces. A couple of those guys came from Cleveland, and I just kind of fit right in and just tried to do my thing. I mean, defense was my thing. I knew I could play defense with the best of them. You name anybody on a list of outfielders from 2000 to even 2015, I would put my name right there with them from a defensive standpoint. I know I could track balls down. I know I could throw guys out. I was dangerous in the outfield. I was very aggressive in the outfield. And
yeah,
looking back, I just wish I would have taken that mentality to the plate a little bit more.
yep. Was there? So we've talked to a lot of guys that played, minor league ball, and they get to the pros, and they said the biggest change for them was the speed of the game. Was that
Mhm.
the same thing for you?
It is a little faster, but you adapt pretty quick. but it's fast in a good way. So like in between pitches, everything's a little quicker, which is good. You want the game to go by a little bit faster instead of drag on. But as long as you have to do a little bit more mental preparation, right? So as the game speeds up, balls coming to me, I already know where I need to go with it, no matter what. Ground balls hit to me, I already know where I'm throwing it. Fly balls hit to me, I know where I'm throwing it. You have to pay attention to a little bit more details. Back then, you had scouting reports getting really big. You'd go watch video of your previous at bats back in the tunnel. So you had a lot of those stat and video references to go back on. I think they've kind of gone overboard with it today a little bit, but it was good to see. I always had struggled with what does my feel like versus what does it actually look like, if that makes sense. So
Yeah,
looking at
absolutely.
myself in a mirror, it probably may have felt different than what I actually thought was happening. So it was always good to see a little bit of a video to kind of remind myself, oh, that's what this guy throws in this counter. Oh, that's what that swing felt like. That's what I did here. Just to have a little bit of something to fall back on to remind myself that's what that felt like. That's what this felt like. So I was always a big feel guy. I wasn't a very good technical hitter, if that makes sense. I relied on did it feel right? Did it not feel right, so to speak?
Yeah, absolutely.
I got
We got a question.
Uh oh.
Nastiest slider ever faced, or like nastiest pitch that you saw?
Okay. All right. Well, they all happen the same at bat. Well, no, I take that back. There's a couple at bats. Well, I have to give the guy credit, Mario Rivera. So the first I got to face Rivera, saw three pitches. The first one was just it was spinning right down the plate, didn't move a whole lot. I was like, why didn't I swing at that? I would have hit that ball a mile. Next pitch started in the exact same spot, almost hit me in the shin, and I swung at it. The third pitch started in the exact same spot, and so it looked like somebody took a chainsaw and cut my bat right in half, and I popped out to second base. So
Whoa.
uh, go Mariano. The guy's a stud.
Yeah.
What can I say? Um, I'm trying to remember his name. I had battles with this guy in Double A. Came up in the Met system. He was a good prospect. He had a nasty cutter. He had a straight four seam fastball and a nasty cutter. And I do remember getting him a couple of times, but yeah, it was always a battle with that guy because he could manipulate his cutter, not as good as Mariano, but he could say, I want this to move 2 inches. I want it to move 4 inches. I want it to move 8 inches. He had that capability. But
Man.
no one holds a candle to Mariano. He's a stud. What can I
Yeah,
say?
that's
I think his stat lines speak for itself.
yeah.
yeah.
And it's crazy about him is like as a hitter, you knew it was coming and you still couldn't hit it.
Yeah, because it would look like a fastball or it looked like a slider. He would manipulate the cutter to do whatever he wanted it to do. He's gripping it the same way. Posada probably doesn't even know what's going back down. He's not even throwing signs at this point. He's just letting Mariano do his thing.
Yeah.
I will say the one scariest time was the first time I faced Chapman. Chapman was in Aroldis Chapman. He was in AAA coming up with the Reds. He was a starter, if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
He was throwing 104 and had absolutely no idea where it was going, had no mechanics. His release point was just all over the place. It was never a consistent release point. So it was very hard to pick up the ball. Plus, he's throwing 104 and doesn't really know where it's going. So we had Frank Kremlis was our manager in AAA in Indy that year. It was 2010. We were at Louisville, and he's like, "All right, guys, you're going to take to two strikes, and then you can swing away." Well, first guy gets up there, lead off hitter, strike one, strike two, strike three, you're out. So he's like, "Screw it, we're not doing that anymore. You guys swing away, go get them, boys." Yeah, Chapman,
That's funny, man.
that was dirty. Coming 104 from the left side, he's basically throwing from behind me back across the plate. I walked. I got on base, but yeah, that was somewhat frightening.
Did you see any of them? Like, what does that even look like?
It's a blur. It's a blur. I
Oh,
mean, when guys
man.
start like these guys today, I still think the guns are juiced in my opinion. But when you get over 100, the reaction time is just ridiculous. It's a luck of the draw at that point, in my opinion. I was never good enough to hit 105. You could throw me 3 pitches down the middle of 105. Yeah, I might foul them off. I might get lucky and square it up, but I'll tell you, it was absolute luck that I did square it up.
Was there a pitcher over time that you just generally had really good at bats against? Somebody you felt like you
Oh,
kind of owned?
yes. Jensen Lewis. Hopefully Jensen's not listening. Jensen's a broadcaster, I believe, on Cleveland's post game baseball show after their games. Me and Jensen played together in 07 in Akron, and then obviously I went to Boston the following year. He was kind of an up and down guy, big leagues, AAA with Cleveland from I think 07 into maybe 2011, somewhere in there. I have 4 at bats against Jensen, 1 walk, and I'm 3 for 3 with 3 home runs. Not wall scrapers, memos.
Just
So
tanks.
tanks. I'm sorry, Jensen.
And one of those was that walk-off revenge home run against the Indians, right?
It was very correct. Yeah,
Man.
yeah.
Incredible.
And I hit 2. Let's see, I hit 1 against him in Pawtucket. He was in. I guess they had moved the team to Columbus at that point, so he was still in Columbus. I hit an Oppo Taco at Pawtucket, and then at Columbus in 2010, I was in Indy, and I almost hit it over the scoreboard. So yeah, Jensen will tell you I own Jensen too.
That's awesome. we have another question in the chat, kind of along the same lines, but was there a player you played against that wasn't a superstar or a big named guy who impressed the hell out of you?
Geez, at any level?
Any level,
anywhere.
Sure.
Well, there's a couple on different years. So in 2000, I think it's 6, I was in AA in Akron. There's a kid named Ryan Mulhern. Y'all probably never heard of him. I don't think he got to the big leagues, but I want to say he won minor league player of the year. That year, he absolutely raked. He couldn't get out. He just could not get out. Did not matter what you threw him. I challenge you, go up and look at Ryan Mulhern, Mulhern. Look at his stats. I think it's 2006. It's either 06 or 07, but I think it's 6. He just murdered the ball. It was unbelievable. Never seen anything like it. And then in 2008, I'd say, you call him a no-name guy, but he's got a World Series ring, Jeff Bailey. He was the leadoff hitter, and he had probably 320 in Pawtucket that year with 20-plus home runs. I mean, he just absolutely destroyed the ball. He could play multiple defensive positions, but at the plate, that year he was just a superstar. I'm trying to think some others. I guess in 08, who's the boy that was in Tampa? He signed a big deal. His first pro day or first big league game. He raked all year long. He took Tampa to the World Series that year. I can't remember. I can't pull his name out of my head.
Wasn't Desmond Jennings?
No, I played third.
Evan Longoria.
Kid. There you go, Longoria. Longoria just could not get out in 08. He just raked, completely raked. Wow. Pedroia raked in 08 too. So if y'all remember, I think 07, he won Rookie of the Year, and then 08 he won MVP. So he had about a year and a half there. He just couldn't get out.
Yeah.
Props for the little guy.
Yeah, right. We have a viewer that asked, was the Met Bobby Parnell or Jonathan Neese?
No.
No.
I remember Neese. I will think of the Met. You got my brain running right now. So I'm gonna pull up the 2005 Binghamton Mets, and I will find out who that guy is and let y'all know.
Yeah, it's all good. That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, not a ton of at bats in the major leagues, but you got 11 games. You got 85 games total. Oh no, sorry, 40 games total. You got 52 plate appearances. You hit 255. Do you know who you got the most hits off at the MLB level?
Wow, I bet you do.
I do. That's why I'm asking you.
It can't be many. It's got to be like 2 or 3. I give. What gives?
It is Carl Pavano. Yeah,
Carl Pavano.
yeah,
Okay.
you were 2 for 3 off him.
Yeah, I think
So,
I hit a home run off of him, didn't I?
no, it says here
No.
you
Okay.
got Bergeson, Brad Bergeson,
Okay. That. Sorry, I got it mixed up.
and
Was
then
Pavano in Baltimore that time, or was he in
he
Chicago, or neither?
he could have been with the Yankees.
Yeah,
Was he?
Pavano
Okay.
was
He's with the
Expos
Okay.
Yankees
Yankees,
then?
and he moved around a
Sorry.
little bit.
Sorry,
Yeah.
my getting old sucks, guys.
You're
I'm sorry.
you're good. No worries, man.
We know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just add a couple more years, boys.
yeah. I love it. So, yeah, that's awesome. Um, yeah, it's so cool, man.
Well, I mean, I will say, everybody wonders what the tunnels are like in Fenway, and they still smell
Oh,
like they're 1904. I mean,
that's
it's just that old nostalgia. You walk into an old stadium, it's cool, it's awesome. But everybody's so friendly. They all take care of you. I genuinely cannot find anything bad to say about anybody that wore a Red Sox, whether it's a uniform, whether it's the clubbies, whether it was the trainer, the security guard at the stadium. I mean, they were great. They just treated you like family right out of the gate.
yeah.
And even I went out. I wasn't a big guy going out. I was dating a girl in Boston when I first got called up in '08, and I remember I think we had the Saturday day game on Fox, and we just got our brains annihilated by the Yankees. And it was pouring down rain. They all still wanted to go to this fancy bar. I can't remember what it was. This place had there were probably 300 people in line trying to get inside. They had fire marshals there. It was crazy. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna try and play the card. So I showed him my player card, walked to the front of the line, showed him the card. He's like, come meet the owner. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. All right, cool. So that was the only time I really played the card. I was always kind of I never liked the spotlight to be on me, but
If you got it, use it, man. That's what I'd say.
yeah, well, I just used it for her and her friends that one night, and it seemed to work. So it was just a cool experience. It's just the nostalgia of the Red Sox run that town, whether good or bad or ugly. No matter
Yeah,
what happens, uh, people love the Red Sox. There's no getting away from it.
yeah.
Yeah. So when you got called up to Boston, was there a particular veteran that kind of showed you the ropes and coached you through that, or did you just kind of find your way?
A little bit of both. So it's funny. Coco Crisp was one of the outfielders that year, and the week before, I think he just got suspended for charging the mound and throwing a bat at somebody in Oakland. But he saw me. I mean, our lockers were right next to each other, and he's like, "Hey, do you know where everything is in here?" I said, "I just showed up to. I know nothing." He just said, "All right." He put everything down, dropped everything he was doing, and walked me through the whole clubhouse. Like, here's the training room. This is where you get food. This is where the beer is. This is where the chicken wings are. I'm just kidding. There was no beer and chicken wings. There was
Okay,
beer, but there wasn't chicken wings.
Yeah,
This is
they
the
were coming
gym.
later.
But he took 15, 20 minutes to kind of show you this is how this system operates. This is if you need anything, go see this guy for that, this guy for this. So, and they're all just super accommodating. The one thing you did not want to do, you never wanted to go see Russell. Russell was the massage therapist. He was this massive Samoan guy with hair down to his butt. And if you went and saw Russell, you were guaranteed to be crying by the time you left Russell. So you never wanted to go see Russell. I went and saw Russell one time, and I swore I would never go back, and I did.
Man, that's funny. So Jonathan was telling me before we got on, Harrison, that someone went and picked him up at the airport. Can you guess who went and picked him up at the airport?
Oh, goodness gracious.
You know him. We know him.
Oh, really? Oh, was it Roe?
It was Jim. Yeah.
Nice.
Look at him. He
Yeah,
pulled
isn't
it
that
out.
crazy?
Well done.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And his
Pretty
5
cool.
You
Series
didn't get the
BMW.
Yeah, you didn't get the
Yeah.
police escort like Doug Mirabelli?
No, I did not get the play. However, when you travel and that for me, getting up to the big leagues, it wasn't so much the bright lights and the people and the spotlight. It was the logistics. It's the travel.
Oh.
So when you're traveling, like game's over, everybody's getting ready to go. You put on your whatever clothes you wore to the field. your bags, you don't even think about your bags. They're gone. You won't see them until you get to your destination. But airport security comes to the stadium and they wand you down in the stadium. So I'm getting wanded at Fenway, hop on the bus. There are no stoplights. You know, you got police escorts. As soon as all the equipment's loaded, you got 2 buses. They're rolling all the way to Logan. You don't go in Logan. You go onto the tarmac at Logan. You go off the bus onto the plane. As soon as the plane's loaded, you're gone. That was the most impressive thing to me.
Dang.
It wasn't bright lights, you know, paycheck. Paycheck's nice, don't get me wrong, but just the way they managed the logistics side of things was impeccable. It was incredible. It was very impressive.
Yeah, a little different than minor league bus travel, huh?
Yeah, you get on the plane, the first row. This is back when Bud Light Lime was a thing. I don't even know if they make those anymore, but the whole first seat, dude, the Red Sox love some Bud Light Lime. Don't lie. I'm not going to lie to you. They love some Bud Light Lime. First thing was Bud Light Lime, then Chick-fil-A sandwiches, then the candy seat. And once you got airborne, there's no chairs in their upright and locked position. Everybody's got their own TV and headrest. There's full meals on the plane, whatever you want. There's ice cream. Anything you want is at your fingertips. That was the most amazing thing.
Dang. That's awesome.
So how often when you're traveling were you getting into these cities at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, and having to like adjust yourself to then try to get some sleep to get there for a game that night? Like how much of that travel is happening in these crazy hours?
All right, dude. I'm used to minor league ball, so anybody that's going to complain about big league travel, you just call them big freaking sissy. All right, you're flying. Like, say the game's over at what 11. By the time you shower, get dressed, you might be at the tarmac at another hour because they really try and push you to get out because the plane's trying to get out and get to the next destination. You're flying. It's a 3 or 4 hour flight, maybe a 5 hour flight if you're going to the West Coast, but you're gaining time going that way. So let's just say I'm going to Tampa. It's probably what 4 hour flight from Boston to Tampa. I'm just making up a number. I'm probably pretty close, but so I get in at
definitely more than
4.
3.
Yeah, I get in at 4. I can still sleep for 8 hours till noon, get up, go get some food in my system, start, get going again. And I can still be at the park by 2 and do everything that I need to do for that day and not miss a beat.
Yeah.
So minor league travel, completely different story. Yeah, that's a completely different ball game. So you ride on a bus for 12 hours after that midnight game. You'll show up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and supposed to play a game at 7. Those guys don't even go home that night. Or even better, the bus breaks down and you sit in a truck stop for 8 hours. Then you show up at 6 and you're trying to play a game at 7. We still beat the brakes off of them that time. But minor league travel's way, way worse than you could. Then big league guys got it made. Everything's chartered. There's no airports. Airport security is just a breeze. Flying in AAA and sometimes in AA, just depending on the distance. But you would fly in AAA. Usually anything over 6-7 hour trip, maybe 8, you'd typically fly. But you fly commercial, and it's always a 5 a.m. flight out.
Yeah.
So those sucked. Game's over at 11. You have a 3 a.m. bus to the airport to go fly to your next destination. That sucks.
Well,
Big
they
league's
finally,
piece of cake.
yeah, they finally changed the minor league schedule. So like they've cut down the travel a lot because I think they play like almost 6-game series now. Like once you get there, like you're there for the week. You're not.
Yeah.
It's not none of those split series anymore.
Yeah, the internet. And again, I've been out of the game a long time. So back then, you had the Pacific Coast League and you had the International League. International League was pretty good on travel. It wasn't that bad. Every now and then you'd get whacked with a 5 a.m. flight. But the Pacific Coast League, every trip you're getting hammered. You can't. There is no driving. You're flying everywhere. I mean, Nashville was in the Pacific Coast League. New Orleans was in the Pacific Coast League. Teams in Texas, Oklahoma City, Iowa. All those guys were in the Pacific Coast League. So the travel is it's awful. Now it's a hitter's paradise because the ball flies everywhere. But, pitchers always wanted to come to the IL. They wanted to stay out of the PCL.
Yeah. Damn.
Makes sense because that's a lot of travel. That's a big spread.
Sure. Yeah.
It's crazy.
But you do take 2 buses in AAA. So you can kind of spread out, sleep if you want to. if that makes any difference.
Upgraded 2 buses, love it. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It's
right.
slightly less
They-
crappy travel.
They claim they had Wi-Fi, but it never worked.
Naturally, that's incredible. All right, so
I have one
ahead.
more question for you. So we've mentioned Farrell. You know, Farrell played a bigger role in your path than you thought.
Sure.
What who else do you point to? Another whether it was coach, player, whatever that you point to as being instrumental in getting to where you got to.
Probably more coaches. I always tried to hang around the coaches and kind of pick their brain, whether it's on or off the field. Probably the biggest one, Torey Lovello. I played for that guy 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 07. Me and Torey just kind of followed the chain all the way up in the Cleveland system. Now he's the manager of Arizona. Much deserved. He deserved to be there much sooner than he got there. But love Torey to death. You'll hear the same thing from everybody. He's a player's manager. He'll do anything he can for you and wants you to tries to put you in the best position to succeed. So definitely Torey. Tim Bogar was another player's manager. I don't know if y'all have ever heard that name before. He's kind of bounced around the coaching ranks. He was actually I want to say the first base coach of Boston 2010, maybe 2009, 2010, somewhere in there. So he made a pit stop in Boston under Tito for a little bit. I would probably say, yeah, those two. John obviously had a big influence, and but I was more. John was kind of in a position where I couldn't really be personal with him. He was kind of the overarching, field director, farm director, and those guys don't really mingle with the players at all. I guess they can't really. Just trying to save face, so to speak, but. Tim and Torey, when you're a manager, you can kind of show your face outside of the field and build those relationships off the field that are very important.
It's incredible.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm like Diamondbacks are kind of like my second team. I love Torey Lovello. I love what he does with that team, and I mean, talented guys, but they always go right to him. Like they're the first guy that they go to when they get back to the dugout after a big play, right? And I love that out of him. So.
Yeah, Torey's the man, dude. I love Torey. He's always been the man in my book for the last, 2026. For 20 years, that guy's been coaching some form of baseball in the professional ranks, and he's always been the man. You'll be hard-pressed to find anybody that's played for him that did not like Torey. I would challenge you. Same thing with Tito. So I got spoiled with great managers. Even Ron Johnson, RJ, Tito, Lovello, Tim Bogar. I was spoiled with some good managers, and they all deserve to have an opportunity at the big league level. And I love them all to death, and they definitely influenced my career, not only on the field but also off.
Yeah, I got another question. How was Papelbon as a teammate?
I don't know. Is Pap listening?
Probably not.
Me and Pap got along fine. He went to Mississippi State. I'm a Mississippi guy. I never had a problem with Pap. However, Pap liked to party a little bit. He was a little extreme for me. So we never kind of ran around the same circles off the field. But I felt like he had my back, always had his back. I unfortunately, I think he got a save one time at Fenway. It was one of my first games up. I was playing right as I went in as defensive sub. I think JD Drew decided to pull the shoot late in the game, but they put me out in right for the last couple of innings, and I caught the last out and then threw the ball in the stands. And now I realize after the fact that I'm supposed to give him the ball. It's his save. So I don't think he ever thought anything of it. But seeing Pap on TV, I mean, that's Pap, dude. I mean, you see that he's exactly like that behind closed doors. So he's a character. He's entertaining. I'll give him that. He's very entertaining. If y'all, I don't know, back in 2014, I think Mississippi State was really good at football for most of the year. They had him on. I think College Game Day went to Starkville for the first time ever. They had Pap on the set. I would tell you guys, go back and look at the YouTube clips of that. That's Pap in a nutshell.
That's awesome.
He seemed like a wild man.
It's an understatement. Yeah.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah. What was that? What was that Sox clubhouse like? Coming off a World Series, you've got some stars, some big personalities. Like, what was that clubhouse dynamic like?
I mean, everybody got along. I mean, it was just like one family. What you see, and I went back and looked at watched the '04. We were talking about this before we started. Was it Comeback, the '04 Netflix series,
Yeah.
and you got like Timlin and some of these other guys like playing cards around the table, or Millar. They're all playing cards in the clubhouse. It's the same vibe, same feeling. It was just a little family environment, and you had some big personalities in there. I mean, obviously you had Poppy, you had Manny. Uh, there's some interesting cats. Poppy's favorite song, he play that damn thing every freaking game, is Bon Jovi Always. For whatever reason, I do not know why, but he loved that damn song, and he'd play it right before everybody walked out to the field every game. Um, but Manny, they said in his contract he had a locker in a separate room. He had a locker in a separate room. He's just a very best way I can describe him. He always looked out for me. Yeah, and I looked out for him. And I think my first game, my first day I ever got called up, I still have this picture frame. Uh, I don't know if y'all are Boston fanatics, so you might remember this game. So we're at Baltimore, and Manny's getting heckled by these fans the whole time. The whole time, just they're just wearing him out. I'm playing center, he's in left, and it's probably about six or seven, fifth, sixth inning, somewhere there. Lester's on the mound. Millar, who's playing for Baltimore at the time, hits the ball all the way to the wall, and Manny catches it, steps on the wall, high fives the fan, the one Boston fan in the middle of
Yeah.
all the Oriole fans, throws the ball back into Pedroia. Pedroia throws it to, I believe Euclid was playing first for a double play. And I thought he punched the guy in the face. Like, it happened so fast. I was like, oh my God, he went after somebody in the crowd. He lost his mind. But it turns out there was one little Boston fan in the middle of all those guys, and he high-fived him in the middle of a double play. I was like, "Oh, shit, look at that. Let me go get on TV real fast." So me and him kinda clicked gloves on the way back to the dugout, and, luckily, some random Joe was, up in the nosebleeds taking pictures with the big zoomed lens, and he actually found me online somewhere and emailed me the print for that picture, and so I have it framed. That was one of my favorite pictures I ever had done. Me and Manny kind of clicking gloves after he high fived the fan in Baltimore. It was pretty neat.
Now, every
I,
time I see that clip, I'm going to be looking for you. That is
yep.
I'm
incredible.
there. Yeah, I'm
That is
there.
awesome.
I'm playing center. Yeah. So, a testament to what I said earlier, I was really good defensively. So, who was the normal center fielder in 2008? Can you remember?
You said it was crisp, right?
No, he
It
was
wasn't
there.
crisp.
He played some. Ellsbury.
2008, Ellsbury. That's right.
Well, that's right before he
Yeah.
left for New York.
So they moved
Yeah.
Ellsbury to right and put me in center.
Oh,
So
that's right.
I had to be good at something for that to happen.
Hey.
Now, Jacoby's got a lot more zeros in his bank account. However, that specific day, I was the better center fielder.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I mean, he stole half those zeros from the Yankees, so we don't have to worry about
Good for
Red
him.
Sox making.
Hey,
Yeah.
somebody's got to do it, right?
Right.
Good
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
we shed no tears for the Yankees when they signed that contract. So
My dad grew up a Yankee fan, but and I will say one of the coolest memories I'll ever have is, I think it was 09. Yeah, 09. So they just got into the new stadium. And my dad grew up lifelong Yankee fan. I mean, Maris, Mantle, Yogi, the whole 9 yards. And the first time he ever went to the brand new Yankee Stadium, he was seeing his son play in a Red Sox uniform.
That's sick.
that's cool.
That's so cool.
That was pretty special.
Man. Yeah, I'm sure.
Did you ever have Manny try to play cutoff man for you in the outfield like you did to Damon?
No. He just needs to get out of the way. Go hang out in the monster or something, dude. I think that was before my time, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. That was like mid to early 2000s, somewhere in there.
Yeah, that was early.
Yeah. Did you ever get to take a trip in the wall in the monster?
I never like hung out in there, but I did go see it.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. About every panel, every piece of wood in there's got some kind of writing on it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting. It's
Cool.
history, dude. It's history. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the last time I got called up, I told my boys back home, I was like, look, dude, I just got traded from Pittsburgh to Boston. They're sending me to the big leagues. you guys might want to come if you ever want to see me in the big leagues again. So
Yeah,
I had a little group of friends. They all flew up from Jackson, Mississippi to Boston and watched us play. They're actually playing the Yankees that weekend. And they gave them a nice tour of the stadium and just gave them the whole 9 yards and took care of them. So,
that's so cool.
like when I first got called up, Boston flew my mom, my dad, and my brother up on their dime, put them in a hotel on their dime, and took care of them, gave them tickets to the games, and just treat them like family. And so
That's
for that, I'll eternally be grateful.
that's incredible. Were they there for your first big league hit?
No, that was in Baltimore. So
That
they
was
were
in
there. So
Baltimore.
we were in Baltimore one game, then flew back to Boston the next day. So it was Thursday was an off day. Then we had Friday, Saturday, Sunday series. I can't remember who we were playing, maybe the White Sox or somebody. But
Yeah.
yeah, they flew them all up just on a whim. Hey, is this your first time up? Yep, never been here. This is pretty awesome. But so they flew mom, dad, and my brother up, put them in a hotel, and gave
Wow,
them premium seats. And
that's incredible.
eighth inning, they're playing Sweet Caroline. I was like, all right, I'm good. You can just take me out now. This is great. I'm done.
Yeah, man.
Can't top.
Do you
this.
remember who you got your first hit off of?
Y'all do because you got the stats right in front of you. Francisco Cabrera, maybe.
Daniel Cabrera. Yep.
Daniel. I had the Cabrera
Yep.
right. Dead gum. Yeah, like I
That's-
said, getting old sucks.
It's all right. We'll accept it.
We'll count it. You do Cabrera.
Had the Cabrera right. I got a half over.
Yeah,
Right.
that's incredible.
Cool.
Another question. Any cool memorabilia you have? I know you mentioned the picture of you and Manny. Is there anything else that you have from your career or that you've collected that you love?
There is actually. I guess I better show you than just tell you. So,
All
pardon
right,
the mess.
It's all right. Front row seats. Let's go.
Taking the
Yeah,
tour.
Here we go. I'll probably have to figure out how to flip this camera around because you're still looking at me. So, all right. My wife has the house. I have a nook. So in my nook, my mom got some of these framed. So let's see. There we go. Little Cleveland Indians action.
Oh, sick.
Oh,
A couple of balls up here. But my pride and joy is that guy. So I have a shadow
Yes.
box
Nice.
jersey from the first game. I have the ball from my first hit. I have the lineup card from the first game.
Dang.
So all the lineup cards have that little sticker on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sean Casey, the mayor, was there and he signed a bat for me and I got it framed. And that's actually a picture of me. Shoot. It's hard navigating this camera like this.
You're fine. You're doing great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's actually the picture from the first hit. And there's Manny up there somewhere.
Oh,
If
yeah.
I can,
Oh, I got it. Oh,
Oh,
that's an awesome picture.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
Man, that's so
so
cool.
that was my debut. That's when he high-fived the fan. So
Man,
that's my little nook.
I love it, man. That's so cool.
One of these balls are actually, I have one of the last balls from Yankee Stadium somewhere around here. They had a special emblem for 2008 on all the balls used in that stadium.
Oh, wow.
Somehow got a hold to one. I really don't remember how I did, but it's going to stay here.
That's awesome.
Doesn't matter. It made it home. Kind of like Doug Mankiewicz put the ball in his back pocket. You can do the same thing.
Right.
Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So one last thing before we go. Me and you were talking before we came on. So Jonathan's in Nashville. I'm in Raleigh. They're kind of the two rival cities here wanting an MLB team. So I'm putting a deal on the table. If Raleigh gets a team, I'm inviting you out this way. Free place to stay at my house. We'll go to the game. But deal's going that way too if it happens in Nashville.
I got a spot right here, dude. You got your
Love
own
it.
room, your own bathroom, you got your own pool, TV, kitchen, whatever the hell you want. All yours.
Just
I
be careful. They may
charge.
not leave.
Yeah. I'm not that
I'll turn
bad.
off the air. I'll force him out.
you can't you kill somebody down in the south here if you do that. But yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, what's your feelings on Nashville getting baseball? Are you optimistic about it? Are you kind of on the fence about it? How are you feeling about Nashville's plea to get a team?
Well, I think the chances are. I mean, they got just as good a shot as anybody. It's a growing city. We've been here for 8 years, going on 9 now. And honestly, there's parts of downtown we go to, we're like, where'd that come from? When did that show up? There's places that we don't recognize anymore. So, and it's happening more and more every day. And it's a sports town, like we talked about. People love sports. They love the Predators. They love, MLS is making a huge, in my opinion, the two sports that really made a charge the last couple of years are MLS and hockey. And those things, they go crazy for it. And the Sounds are drawing well. You put a big league team caliber or MLB team here. I mean, they've talked about the land's already donated by the university for as part of a joint affair to try and get a team here. Personally, I really hope it does, because that just means all this stuff is worth a little bit more than it is right now.
Fair.
So I don't know. We'll see. It should be interesting. I think they have a good setup and a good chance for success here. Just with the draw of Nashville kind of being the hub of the Mid South, you kind of had a void, right, from kind of Indianapolis down to Atlanta in the Mid South, and now that void's being filled up pretty quick. So you're attracting a lot of different people from a lot of different areas. I mean, obviously we have a lot of people from California. We're pulling people from New York, even Florida, and neighboring states, Mississippi, Alabama, and even coming down from Kentucky. So it'd be interesting to see how it pans out.
Yeah, it's very similar to what Raleigh's kind of do. You almost explained Raleigh to a T, because we're kind of doing the same thing. We have the Research Triangle, we have the Hurricanes here, and their avid fan base. The thing is like, I went to watch a Braves game on my TV yesterday and I'm blacked out. Like, it literally says on my cable I can select it to watch it, and I can't watch it. Like, I'm outside of the network. So there's a black spot over Raleigh. Can't watch baseball here. It's wild.
That sucks.
But it's terrible.
You got to buy the ticket, dude. MLB TV. Is that still a thing?
Yeah, it is. But I'm still I'm blacked out of them, the Orioles, and the Nationals.
Why are you blacked out of Atlanta? That makes no sense.
Because it doesn't reach the market, doesn't reach Raleigh.
But you're paying for a service. You should see everything.
Yep.
Everything.
You are preaching to the choir, man.
I don't get it.
Make
it make sense.
We've got a follower that's usually in the chat that lives in Southeast Iowa, and he's blocked out of like 7 markets.
What? You give me my money back. Like, what's the point? Why am I paying for Netflix if I can't watch anything on Netflix? That makes no sense.
Right. Thank you.
I'm just a dumb redneck, though.
No, absolutely not. Because you're saying exactly what we've been just yelling about at Clouds for like 2 years. So love it.
Every fan says the same thing.
But
yeah, we keep paying it because we're gluttons and we want to watch the game.
There you go. Well, anytime you guys want to come to town, hit me up, dude. We'll take care of it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I thank you so much for coming on and telling your story. This was absolutely incredible. I can't thank you enough. It's really cool to kind of go back and live through like Red Sox fandom through you. And really cool stuff, Jonathan. And appreciate it.
Thanks
You're
for
welcome,
having me, guys.
Welcome to come on anytime. So
you know how to find me.
All right. Sounds good, man.
We do now. Careful what you wish for.
There you go. Can't hide from the internet.
All right, Jonathan. Take care. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
All right, guys. Take care. Have a good night.
Yeah.
You as well. Wow. Again, I never know what to say after these, but that was absolutely incredible. That was so much fun, man. What a great guy.
I feel almost like silly at this point reacting like I do, because it's always the same thing. Like, we get these guys on, they're always like really cool guys that were just really good at baseball. They're normal dudes. I mean, they're all super friendly. They all love to just talk baseball, and I think they love the fact that like we care and we like to talk baseball too, and just like hanging out with friends. Like, that's the cool part about the format of the show, is that it's like hanging out, talking with your buddies.
Yeah. I mean, and like a guy that is grateful for what he had. Like I said, 40 games in the big leagues. I mean, that's what we call a cup of coffee, right? But he was so grateful for that opportunity, and it's incredible. It's just a level that none of us could only dream about reaching.
No, I mean,
And
and you look at the stat line, you're kinda like, "Man, like, what a" too bad he didn't get more of an opportunity. And in his eyes, he's like, "I'm just thankful I got the opportunity," and it's a way different mindset, and we've said that before with many of these guys, like, the confidence, the knowledge, the gratitude, how humble they are, like, it's just you don't expect it, and it's
no.
what makes them different.
Yeah, and again, like I know like the cliche, the road to the show, right? Everybody's
Yep.
road is different. And it still shocks me to hear how different everybody's journey is, right? He was redshirted in college and he's like, I'm not gonna play. I lost my scholarship. I'm going to JUCO. Like he still found a way to get to the next level. So even if he got set back, he's like, I'm still finding a way to keep going. And again, that's just that different mindset that these guys that reach that level have, right? He's like, I hit 162 in what was it, 2007 or whatever. He's like, I'm pissed off. I'm just gonna go out and hit 309 the next year with 26 bombs. It's like that's a different mindset,
Yep.
and it's so cool, so cool.
Yeah, it is so cool, and you talked about finding the hitting instructor really take it to another level, and how important John Farrell was, and we've heard that many many times how thankful these guys are for the coaches and the front office people that like helped them get there, because it is as good as you are. There's so I mean when you look at the minor leagues, any one of those guys could go play Major League Baseball tomorrow, and they'd probably be fine. But you have to have the people around you that support you, the people around you that kind of prop you up and help push you to that finish line. And I think him being able to acknowledge, who those people were, why it worked, how he got there is really cool too. And how thankful he is for all the support he got. And also,
Yeah.
like the way he described the kind of the culture of the Red Sox back then. I mean, I think that was the difference of why those teams were so good for so long, is that as weird a group of players as it was, personality wise and all that, that front office was such a well-oiled machine, and they handled everything, and I think that's what, when Theo left, I think that's when you saw the Red Sox begin to sort of fall apart, is that he created that environment, and shortly after he left, once the culture couldn't hang on without the support, you've seen that club go a totally different direction.
Yeah, a fantastic point. I mean, my mind blowing moment of that interview was I completely forget that he was in center field on that Manny high five catch.
Yeah.
I guess it just never like dawned
When
on me, but
when he
so
started
cool.
telling the story, I'm like, "Please be the high five
I
catch.
was
Please
too.
be the
I
high
was like,
five catch." Because that's one of
yeah,
that's such a great highlight. But yeah, I am for sure gonna go back and watch that clip, and I'm just gonna be watching to see him pop into the screen.
yeah, so cool. But again, thank you, Jonathan. That was so cool. I really
Amazing,
appreciate your time. So, and like I
amazing.
said,
What a
welcome
great dude.
anytime. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, all right, we do
Yeah,
have stuff.
where do we go from here, Nick?
Well, we got some big stuff to talk about, Harrison.
Why, did something happen?
Maybe maybe. Oh yes, yeah. The
Oh.
MLBPA, MLB's first proposals. In case you live under a rock, the first two have come out. So the MLBPA comes out. Was it 2 days ago? And they throw these out: a competitive integrity tax for teams not spending $150 million, an increase in minimum salary from 780,000 to $1.5 million.
It's a good
That's it.
raise.
I would die for that raise. Increase in base CBT threshold from 244 million to $300 million. What was your initial reactions to this first proposal by the MLBPA?
Well, when I stopped laughing, at this proposal, I then thought, "Wow, that's maybe the most selfish proposal I've seen from the Players Association ever." And, that is completely dead on arrival. Like, if that's their s if they think they're gonna end up anywhere near any of this stuff, then we might as well shut down 27, 28. Just it's banana ball, folks. Let's go. Baseball's dead.
The glaring one for me is the huge jump in player salary, the minimum salary.
Yeah.
$1.5 million. You doubled it, essentially. I mean, crazy. That means every time you purchase an MLB contract that you have to fork over $1.5 million. How many times a year does a team call up a guy for their debut? I would say what, 6, 7 times probably?
Yeah.
Average in a year.
I mean,
so that's
probably,
$9 million. That's $9 million in payroll just gone.
well, that's why they got to move from 244 to 300, Nick, to afford to pay for all these moves. I mean, to me, the biggest thing was the jump in the CBT threshold to go up to 300 million as a starting point. You want a 150 floor and a 300 starting point, so you just push the whole league up. Probably, you look at that. That's probably $50-ish million on average per team. That's a massive increase to the overall spending that they expect.
Yeah, and shout out to Curtis. He sent me a video earlier. I can't remember who was breaking it down, but by pushing the threshold up, you are letting the Dodgers spend more because that saves money for them. So then they can just blow past that even more and spend more money because they have more money in their pocket. So that is the complete opposite of what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, the players clearly do not care. They do not care if only one team can win. They do not care if half the league can't afford this stuff. They don't care if the game's competitive. They just want a bigger piece of the pie. And that was my question, with the whole Bruce Meyer comment was, he basically came right out and said, read between the lines. What he said was, we're going after the owners and the league. We don't want those guys getting any more money. We want a bigger piece of the pie.
Yeah. David Sampson. That's who it was. Thank you, Curtis. Integrity tax, Marty. So this is crazy, right? They want to, it's essentially a penalty. It is a penalty for, let's say the Pittsburgh Pirates can only get up to 135. They're already quote unquote poor enough that they can't get to 150. We're going to tax them and make them pay more to make sure next year they also can't get to 150.
Yeah, they're making them pay $150 million in payroll, whether they're paying it in contracts or paying it via a fine that goes back to the players anyways. This is such an egregious and disgusting cash grab by the players. That is, as a fan, like I actually almost feel like genuinely insulted by this proposal, because these guys don't give a rat's about the game, about the competitive integrity, about small market teams having a chance. They don't care a bit. They just want a bigger cut of the pie. And they've already got a pretty damn good sizable piece of the pie as it is now. So it's not like these guys are working for, sweatshop labor wages. Well, the owners are all fat, dumb, and happy. If you look around the league, a lot of these owners aren't making much of anything on the money. Yeah, the organization's worth $3 billion. Well, they paid for the damn thing. Like, right. It wasn't like the owners got the organization for free and they've got this $3 billion windfall. Ask Steve Cohen how that's working out. That dude stroked a check to buy the Mets. Yeah. It's not like they've spent nothing to get here. This is insane to me. And honestly, like I have a really tough time taking the players seriously at this point if this is where they're starting.
Like I work for a pretty big organization, right? That would be like me going to the owner of this corporation and being like, yeah, I need a 200% raise and expect it. Like, no, like you bought this company, right? It's yours. You can do what the heck you want with it.
Yep.
Right. As a little peon, like, I mean, I know the players aren't peon. That's the product. I get it. But the owners bought that product and they do what you have to do, what they say. That's it. I just, to ask for a 200% raise is bonkers.
Yeah. And on top of that, you want, $60 million more per year to be spread around. You want to just tax the crap out of teams that are on the smaller side of the market. I mean, 150. Yeah. I think every team would love to spend $150 million in payroll, but given where revenue is across most of the league, they just can't do it. And what owner is going to write a personal check out of their checkbook for $50 million to fund the shortfall? I mean, we've watched 2 MLB teams in the last 5 years almost go bankrupt,
right?
And the Nationals and the Padres. Like this is a problem. Then you got the Twins who are carrying $300 million worth of debt just because they were floating operating costs. Like you have these teams are not sitting there. This is not like Scrooge McDuck diving into a friggin', vault of money. It's
Right.
Are these guys super wealthy? Yeah. Are they making money off baseball? Hell no.
No.
Baseball is not funding their lifestyle.
It's just absolutely insane. I don't get it. So
I mean, this might be the fastest no they'll ever get.
easy. And this next one that the MLB pretty much counters back with is pretty much a no, right? And I really, really love this proposal, and it makes me optimistic about the 2027 because I think the owners are on board here. This makes me think that the players are out of touch and the owners are actually putting together an offer that at least makes sense for the game right now. So MLB says salary floor set to $171.2 million and salary cap at 245.3. We'll get back to that in a minute. Baseball revenue would be split 50-50, which I think's pretty damn gracious. Again,
And that's
we'll
an
get back
even
to
more
that.
aggressive floor than the players are asking for. Like MLB
Right.
is giving it to them.
And they're also looking to address the blackout situations in this lockout. So, I mean, kind of minor, but let's hit the first two. Salary floor set at $171.2 million, Harrison. When you saw that number, what were your thoughts?
I went, wow. That feels like a pipe dream that these 10 or 12, bottom of the league revenue teams could afford that. But there is more in this proposal that solves that problem. But my initial reaction was, wow, that seems like an incredibly high floor. But again, that's how the cap system works. If you're going to go to a cap, you need a floor. And I agree. We've said it all along. Like you need a floor. You have to incentivize these teams to invest. And I will say that with a cap at 245 and a floor at 171, I think MLB is doing exactly what we said they had to do, which was prove that the total salary pool is not declining.
Right.
And I want to say it was 8 teams that have to cut salary to get under 245 and 12 would have to actually spend more to get over 171. And what had to get cut and it would have to get increased were about the same. So it was actually pretty even. And then the salary cap would escalate year to year based on league revenues. So the goal would be that baseball, the league and the players are consistently sharing that revenue 50-50, which is honestly, like I think I told you, this was about the fairest offer I've ever would have thought the owners would present. They didn't go after guaranteed contracts. They didn't go after deferred contracts. Inside of a cap system, you're going to have to solve that. But like they didn't go after the really big, scary things they could have. Because at a salary cap of 245, if a guy goes out for the season, he's hurt and you're paying him, how are you going to fill him with a salary cap at 245? Like
Right.
there's definitely more to this behind the scenes to make it work. But I think this is an incredibly fair starting point, and it shows that the owners put a lot of thought into how do we make sure the players are getting their fair share? How do we make sure that we're addressing competitive needs? How do we make the landscape better overall for baseball? And I think the owners have taken the stance of they're trying to protect the game, whereas the players are just trying to get more.
Yep. What I really love about this proposal is kind of the narrow hallway, if you will, right? That I love that 171 to 245 because what that really does is next free agency, guess who's going to have a bid at some of these top tier free agents that we've been sitting here the last 5 years? It's like, oh, well, he's going to the Dodgers, the Mets, the Red Sox, or the Yankees, right? When a team is forced to get to that floor, now these numbers are going to change. Let's be honest. This is just the initial.
Starting
They're going to change, right? So for the Pittsburgh Pirates or the Miami Marlins or the Colorado Rockies to get to a 171.2, they're going to have to sign a Ronald Acuna Jr. They're going to have to sign, name your huge free agent here, right? To put a big chunk in their payroll for that year to get them. That's going to start spreading out the stars. And that's what we've been asking. Like, stop loading up the NL West with every all-star. Stop, please, right? Give them to these other teams. And for the owners, right? The owners all have to be on board here. So that's the Pirates being like, yes, let's do this. That's the Marlins being like, yes. I think there's was there 13 teams underneath this initial proposal? I think it was.
Yeah, 12. It was 12 were under 12 were under and 8 were over.
Yeah. So, I mean, I am I am all for this. Now, like I said, the numbers are going to move, but I do love this tunnel, if you will. I love that
Yeah.
they're keeping the cap and the floor semi-tight.
I mean, as a fan, I get excited because that means that the gap between first and fifth in a division probably won't be as big as it has been. You won't have teams that are out of it on April 5th. You're gonna have teams that are again. You've got to spend your money well. You know, you sign bad contracts, you'll get bad results. Like you're still gonna have teams that are utter garbage.
Right.
You know, just like you do in the NFL, you make a few wrong picks, sign a few bad contracts, and your season's a mess for a couple years. But it's going to smush the spread, and it's going to give more of these teams, like the Pirates, a chance to be competitive more often. Because, and I know Bob Nutting's a bad example, but I don't think there's a lot of owners in the league that are like, I want this team to suck. Like, I want to suck every year. I want the stadium to be empty. I want the fans to be pissed. Like, sign me up for that. I want that every year.
Right.
I think the reality of it is they want to win. But as we've said many times going to free agency, like the Marlins go spend $50 million on 2 free agents, it doesn't necessarily change anything for them. Like the gap from top to bottom is so big that you can't close that with a couple of contracts. This is going to help close that gap so that in June, July, August, fans are going to have that excitement that their team is in it because they're never going to be that far out. And that's why the NFL is so popular, is because literally every team is in it minus a few until like the last month of the season.
Yeah. We got comments here. Marty says players will veto that in a heartbeat. And that's it's gonna go back and forth. Like this is going to be a weekly thing, right? MLBPA is gonna come back with an offer. MLB is gonna come back for an offer. Hell, I'm just happy that they're actually throwing legit offers out there now. This is what we've been screaming at them for the last 2 months. Like, what are we waiting for? So they're actually not waiting till December 1st, and they're actually starting to try to figure it out because they see the writing on the wall. So good for them for starting this conversation, right? These numbers are going to be drastically different by December, January, February, whatever, right? These are just the starting points.
I mean, to give you a reference point, the NFL salary cap is going to break $300 million this year for the first time ever. That's a league that generates almost double the revenue. The NFL, so get this stat. The NFL shares, the NFL shared $416 million per team in media money. Yeah. The average NFL team is making $687 million. That is a far cry from MLB teams. That is double the league average in MLB. So NFL, 2x the revenue. Teams are making double the money, and their salary cap is currently anchored at $50 million-ish higher than this. I could see MLB ending up at like 275, but if you're gonna line those up, the NFL is carrying a 53-man roster, only a slightly higher salary cap.
Yeah, it's crazy,
and twice the revenue.
Yeah,
and I'm sure the NFL players would like more, but that salary cap escalates every year. Yeah. So, they're continuing to get more, but it's pretty well locked.
Yeah. Aaron says the salary cap proposal is way too low, in my opinion. In my opinion, it needs to be 275 to 350. Now, listen, I think they went low on the cap here, knowing that the MLBPA is going to counter with a different number, which might be the number that MLB is thinking in their head, but they're playing negotiation tactics here, right? The saving grace that the MLB has here for me is, like you said, Harrison, they've made up the money on the floor, right? The money that they're taking off the top, they have put in at the bottom to make it 171.2, which is way higher than I thought that they were going to put a floor in. I mean, if I put that floor in my house, it's in the attic, for crying out loud. I never would have guessed that was the number for the minimum you want your teams to spend.
No, I was shocked. Like I didn't think MLB would get anywhere near that number. I mean, I thought like 125 was as far as they would go, but clearly MLB is, I think MLB is making a very aggressive offer out of the gate. I think for a couple reasons. One, I think they want to show the Players Association they're serious about talking, so they don't just get blown off. But I think two, they're putting the players in a position where if the players outright just say no to this, the players look like assholes.
Yeah.
And I think MLB is absolutely backing the players into a corner and letting them dig their own grave. Because if they come out and just blow that and just completely disregard this offer, fans are going to be pissed because it's showing the players just don't care about us. And I don't think they do. I honestly don't believe the players care that much about the game and the fans. And I don't blame them. The average MLB career is what, 4 years, 5 years?
It's actually 2.
Is it down to 2? I thought it was climbing. Damn, that's even
Yeah.
worse. They want to make what they can make. Well, they can. Like, I get it. I totally get it. You've worked your whole life to try to make this a career. You want to get what you can, but I'm not shelling out $250 for a ticket and $25 for a hot dog. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Like, not going to do it. I will forever not go to a baseball game.
Right. And the fact that they've actually put in here that the revenue is going to be split 50-50, I think is also very generous on their part.
Yes.
And like you said, if the players reject that, they look like tools, right? They look real bad. And I'm almost right now, with just looking at this moment, I'm almost backing the owners here right now. Like,
I'm 100% backing the owners here. I think the players
Yeah.
are absolutely trying to stuff it to them.
Yep. And I'm with you. At this point in time, I'm with this. Now, this could change next week. Right?
Oh, yeah.
We could have 2 new offers and we're just like, oh God, MLB, what are you doing? Right. So, and we're probably going to go back and forth throughout the summer here. But at this moment, I think the owners are being way more realistic and trying to figure this out. Like, they're going right for the point, right? They're like, hey, we need to get this done sooner rather than later. We can't lock out. We can't miss games. We can't even threaten to miss games, or we've lost our fan base that we have spent the last 8 to 10 years growing. We cannot stop the momentum. We have to figure this out. And this deal does that for me. This is straight to the point, clear numbers. And yes, we can negotiate the numbers a little bit here and there, but let's not play this like far-fetched numbers that the MLBPA threw out. Like, this is a more realistic offer. Let's work off from this and go from here.
Yeah. I mean, the players' proposals is laughable. MLB came back with a very serious offer that seems like it's well thought out and gives both sides what they want in the end. Now I guess we'll see what happens and where they go from here. But obviously it's going to go around a bunch of cycles, like you said, but this is a way stronger starting point from the owners than I ever expected they would give.
Yep. With you. 1,000%. Never expected this. When I saw this offer come out, I was like, wow. I was like, okay.
I read it twice. I'm like, did I read that right? Like, that's insanely generous given what I thought they'd give them. Because if I'm the owners, like, I would have come out at the salary cap. I would have given you a lower floor. I would have gone after guaranteed contracts. Like, if we're going to do this and if we're going to war, let's go for all of it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the other thing. They didn't even touch guarantee contracts. You guys can have the guarantee.
Which in a salary cap system is going to be a nightmare.
Right. Yeah. Curtis says at the same time, this is the first proposal. It's like the first draft. But if the second draft is exactly the same as the first, the player's PR stance will be dog stool. Yeah. And we're with you, Curtis. Right? I mean, 1,000%. If it comes out like this again, and we are completely backing the owners with their take, their numbers or whatever, and the players come out with some other astronomical take like they did this time, fans are going to be like, what are you guys doing? And like to everything you said, Harrison, you guys don't care. Yeah. Don't care about the game. Don't care about us. And in the grand scheme of things, maybe they don't care about us. Maybe they don't care about the fans.
Well, and in the end, I don't think the players care about us. Like, we don't pay their salaries. Like, I think if the ballpark's empty, they also don't care. And I think, Michael says that he doesn't think either side cares about the fans. The owners have to care about the fans.
Right.
Because that's the customer. Ticket revenue is still one of their biggest line items. You still need to put butts in seats 81 nights a year. And you need as many butts in those seats as possible that are eating hot dogs, drinking beers, and buying sodas and nachos in the friggin' helmet. Like, you need all that stuff. That's a huge portion of your revenue comes from game day stuff. So maybe you don't love the fans, but you definitely care, because if I'm an owner and I'm seeing that player association proposal, I can't charge $200 for a bleacher seat and $20 for a hot dog and expect people to come. Like that, your proposal puts my business in jeopardy, and I can't have it.
Yeah.
Because I think this is what happens, and I'll avoid going into a soapbox moment here, but the players always overvalue themselves. The players are not bigger than the game. You know, David Ortiz retired. The Red Sox didn't lose fans because he was gone. Because what these guys fail to remember is the fact that the fans root for the name on the front. The name on the back is replaceable. You could be traded, you could become a free agent, you could retire. When David Ortiz left, the Red Sox didn't lose fans. When Derek Jeter retired, the Yankees didn't lose fans. The fans came back. Why? Because they care about the laundry, not the guy. And the players always screw that up. You guys are 1,000% replaceable at any moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
And they always think that they are the show. No, the show is the league, and it will live. It was there before you, and it'll be here after you. So you can either get in and enjoy the fruits of your labor and the environment they've created for you, or you can sit on the sidelines and miss out on it. But the players always overstep their value.
Yeah. Greg says the MLB is going to win the PR war, and it's not even going to be close. And this is crazy because I think Harrison and I going in, I mean, I'm going to speak for myself. I'm like, I think the players have the upper hand here. Like, I know the owners hold most of the leverage, but I'm just like looking at it of what the players could have brought to the table. They brought the complete opposite of what we've talked about. So for the owners to be the rational ones in this quote unquote fight kind of blows my mind at this moment. I just
never saw that coming.
No.
Nope, never saw it.
Topper said, so let me get this right. The players don't want a cap and the owners do. Help me understand. Thank you both. Well, yeah, the players want to get paid as much as they can, and they don't want a cap, right? Like if I have a shot at $35 million this year, I want a shot at $42 million next year. And if I'm on another 1-year deal and I have a 30 and 100 campaign, I want you to pay $50 million the next year, right? So they want that to keep going up. But it's just not reasonable to do that. If owners are losing money, they lost, what was it, 1.5, 1.8 billion with a B last year across the league.
It was a lot.
Right? There's no more money to pay those contracts out. And yes, I know we're talking about the top 1%, right? The top 1% of the baseball players make over 30 million or whatever, right? The players also want the guys that you just call up to make your major league debut a $1.5 million person. They want to make every player that steps into the league a millionaire. Now, listen, I get it, right? There's 23,000 people that have ever played Major League Baseball ever, right? Of all time in history, 23,000. So yes, it does say something, right? Like probably should be a millionaire if you're one of 23,000 to ever do it, whatever. Sure. It's just not feasible to do it in this economic climate right now at this moment. That's a crazy ask. If you want to raise it to 900,000 to maybe even just a flat million, sure. 1.5 is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's brutal. It's a brutal cost to have a guy come up for 2 weeks while a guy's in the IL and send him back down. Again, I get why the players want what they want. I get that they want to make as much money as they possibly can because their careers are short and they want to take advantage of that. Awesome. Love that for them. But unfortunately, you can't just have everything. Like the guys that make the most money are the best players. If you're not one of the best players, you don't make the most money. Like it should be that simple. And 1.5 million a year for a guy who plays, has 10 at bats over a 2-week span and goes back to AAA seems crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And Curtis, they don't want a cap. They want a visor. Think about it. And I mean, technically that's what they got in right now. I would say right now is a salary visor, right? It's like, hey, this is the mark, but you can blow it out the top if you want. You just got to pay extra for it. If you want the Guy Fieri hair on top, you just got to pay for it. So yeah, I mean, I get it. And maybe that's what happens. I think the NBA, I heard the comparison on that video that Curtis sent me is they have different aprons, they call it, right? Different different penalties. And maybe that's what the final thing looks like here. But I just,
And then the NBA also
I
has
don't know.
exemptions where like you can re-sign your own guys and go over the cap to a certain level without penalty because they're your own player. And
Right.
like you can, you know, that's why you got the max contracts and super max contracts and all that stuff. But I look at this as I think the players are in la la land. They're clearly just chasing dollars. I think the owners came back with a very thoughtful proposal that shows that they're serious about trying to make this work by giving a lot of the things to the players they asked for. I think the players are in a spot where they should want to sign a deal like this, or at least hammer out the rest of the details of it, because this is going to give them the best shot to get some of what they want. But I think right now, after round one, MLB, I think, has knocked the Players Association to the mat, and they're going to warm up for round two. And the Players Association has to come back with something, or not only will they lose the PR, but I don't think anybody will take them seriously anymore.
No. Greg, this is a very great point. If the $1.5 million does pass, it would just end up with less players being called up. The entire proposal is the rich get richer. And that's a fantastic point. I didn't even think about it, right? If it's going to cost me almost $2 million to pull this guy out of AAA, heck, we're just going to roll with a 24-man roster while Garrett Crochet's on the IL. We'll make it work. We'll figure it out.
And you know, do you stop calling guys up in September when rosters expand? You just say, no, I'm good. You can just finish off the season in AAA and go home. I don't need you sitting on the bench making $1.5 million. And in the salary cap world, you may not be able to afford to shell out an extra $3 million because you called up 3 guys in September.
Right. Yeah, it would be parceled out by game. John Carter, right? They wouldn't get the whole salary for a couple days service, which I get, right? But it's still more money than what your teams are asking, right? And like when you purchase the MLB contract, it's not a signing bonus, if you will, but you're right. It'll be parceled out by game.
No, but those guys that are like, those guys are like out of options and sitting on the bench. They're now making 1.5 million versus 780.
Right.
So what you're going to end up with is a lot of guys that either get traded, not protected in Rule 5 drafts, DFA'd. So those 4A players that are riding somebody's bench right now, or out of options, and they're on a major league contract in the minor leagues, which you see quite a bit of. You know, because remember, if you're on the 40-man roster and you're in AAA, you're getting paid major league money. You're on the 40-man roster. You're just not going to protect guys and put them on the 40-man roster anymore.
So what if you DFA me, and then we go through that, what we talked about last night or last show, the guy that played for 5 different teams in the same year. Does he get $1.5 million every time he signs?
Well, he gets the proration of the $1.5 million for each team he's at.
But if the team paid him the 1.5 to DFA him, and then he gets signed again, does he get another 1.5?
No, just it's all prorated. When you DFA a guy, you can pay him you have to pay him the league minimum, which in this case, if you're making the league minimum already, you're just picking up the contract. But you can't get paid multiple times the same league minimum.
No, I tried. Sorry, guys. I know. But either way,
we caught on to your scheme there, Nick.
Yeah, I tried. Sorry. Just trying to help here.
Like if you DFA a guy who's making, like we talked about the Castellanos deal, like if they DFA'd him, a team could sign him for the 780, and all the Phillies get to do is take the 780 off of what they owe him, and they still got to pay him the remainder.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, and this is what I think, Curtis. I think the number is going to be, I think it's going to be $1 million to $900,000. That's where I think it's just kind of a high asking point, but the numbers will work themselves out. But to just kind of put a cap on this, if you will.
Oh, nice.
I just think the MLB owners look the best right here. So in round one, I'm giving it to the owners.
Agreed. It wasn't even close.
So we will be keeping score because
it was a very clean round one for the owners, and they took it. Yeah,
pretty dominant. So, all right. Some other news around the league. Unfortunately, the Braves lost another legend. So that's Ted Turner, Bobby Cox, and now Bob Horner passes away at 68. First overall draft pick in 1978, rookie of the year, 4 homers in 1 game, all-star game in 82. man, Braves fans, this has been a tough go. So glad your team is actually playing well and playing good baseball, but they got some guys to play for this year. But just another Braves legend passing. It's tough.
Brutal, and it's always sad to see these legends, especially a guy like Bob Horner, 68 years old. We talked about with Veda Pinson, the fact that part of his Hall of Fame journey is probably the fact that he's not here anymore to be a voice for himself. It's sad to see these guys pass away so young.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're dropping like flies in Atlanta, and it's crazy, man. But just tough one for Braves fans again. So, all right, let's get into this one, Harrison. We have had an interesting news week. Wander Franco found criminally responsible, but will not face jail time because of the amount of extortion against him by the minor's mother. The full sentencing will be in June. Lawyers have been in contact with the Rays. What do you make of this whole thing?
It's starting to feel like it was like some kind of a setup. I mean, and obviously like he participated, like he was certainly involved in this, but it almost feels like it was a setup. Like the mom coached the daughter to go get close to him and then found a way to extort the money, because the claims against the mom are like what she was demanding. I mean, obviously Wander Franco's hands are not clean here, but setup and
now, is this, listen, still a dirtbag, right? Not trying to defend this guy at all, but I mean, does this just prove how much, like you said, like she actually just took him to the cleaners and set him up, or is this you have millions of dollars? Are you paying off the judicial system in a country where you're pretty much king? Right? If you have that money, you're pretty much king. So I don't know what I'm asking here, but could that be part of the issue too?
I mean, I think it totally could be. This could be he had a big target on his back and the mother went after him because he had money. And as Curtis said, the mom was basically trafficking her own daughter. Like that based on what they're uncovering, it seems like that could very much be the play. This could also be Wander Franco using influence to sway the court, but they have like real, I mean, I say real air quotes. I mean, for all we know, it's fabricated evidence, but they have real evidence of the fact that the mother was doing this, because again, like we've seen this happen so many times where, people will put a target on a player and they'll do something Trevor Bauer was targeted by that girl. Now she knew exactly how she could take advantage of him, and she did, but he was targeted. Like that was a premeditated plan of attack on Trevor Bauer. Wander Franco could be the same thing, or it could be Wander Franco grasping at straws, trying to save his life and his career by creating another story and using his influence to change it. I don't believe that's the case. I think the mother saw the dollars and saw the fact that they live a very poor life and saw a way out. And I think that Wander Franco was the meal ticket she had been looking for.
Yeah. Greg says, it's still not morally great. And no, not what we're saying, right? But what I've heard is that he was told she was over 18 or 21, and then they tried to extort him after the fact. Still not great, right? Yeah, it's still, but if that's all true, it's a total hit job, and that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
But again, I also don't want to defend Wander Franco's actions, because just like Edwin Diaz, I know cockfighting and trafficking are complete, and underage, that stuff is completely different. But essentially, it's like, don't put yourself in that situation to begin with, right? In that aspect, it's very much the same, right? Don't put yourself in that situation to begin with. So, but again, like What good decisions did you make when you were 22 years old and handed $147 million? I don't know if I would be able to make great decisions when I was 22 years old and handed $150 million. Think about that for a second. I don't know if anybody could. That's tough.
And he's going to be on a long line of athletes that got paid and didn't handle it well. The MLB's history is littered with first round picks that got money in their pocket and their lives fell apart. Some of them before they got to the major leagues, some of them after they got to the major leagues. But he's not unique in that sense. This happens when you come from some of these backgrounds these guys come from, and you're surrounded by the people you're surrounded by. It happens. Is Wander Franco a good dude? Probably not. But I also think he got pardon the lack of a better term, but screwed here. Like I feel like I feel like this is playing out to be like a targeted attack to make a few bucks.
Yeah. So we'll know more when the full sentencing comes out in June. I mean, we still might not even know the whole story, but we'll know the results of what's going to happen. Now, as far as the lawyers reaching out to the Rays, there wasn't much detail on that other than they have been in contact with the Rays. Now, the Rays have voided his contract, I believe, right? They're completely cut it off. I think they voided it.
I don't think they have yet because it was still pending.
For some reason, I thought they nixed it, but either way, do you think
they stopped paying him back in 2024, but the contract itself has not terminated. Anything they would owe him back pay if it's found that like he comes back. But they did stop paying him.
Okay. So suspended without pay.
Correct.
But okay. So if he comes out of this, I'm going to say squeaky clean, Harrison, right? Squeaky is in quotes here because it's not going to be clean, right?
No.
But he's found not guilty, all accounts, whatever, because the mother extorted him, whatever. Do the Rays invite him back? Or is he completely done?
No, he's going to be given the Trevor Bauer treatment. He will be nuclear, and they'll not let him anywhere near baseball. Now, if this comes out where he was extorted and set up, and it was this big fraud played against him, and I mean, MLB won't have the grounds to like ban him for life or suspend him, but there's no team that's going to want this guy around because of the circus that will come with it and the backlash you'd get from it. If it's found that, he knowingly participated in this and used the money to pay her off, then for sure he'll get suspended forever. It'll be one of those indefinite suspensions and he never comes back. But I think either way, you won't see him in MLB again. No team will go anywhere near this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if he ends up being a victim like the judge called him.
Yeah. Yeah. So still under contract with the Rays. They still own his rights, but they'll figure out what to do with him. Marty says, if he's found criminally responsible, how is he not found guilty? And if guilty, no jail time. I mean, that's a fair question, right? If he's found criminally responsible, then that means they have evidence that he was with a minor, right? Yes. Which we all know. But I don't know the jail time thing. I think the jail time thing is interesting. I don't know if they feel that he's paid his dues by the amount he was extorted, where he was kind of like forced into that criminal action, right? I don't know. That's a great question.
Yeah, the difference between criminally responsible and guilty is the fact that criminally responsible means you did something wrong. Like you absolutely broke the law. However, the circumstances of how you broke the law are not clear that you knowingly broke the law. And right. that is the distinction there. That's why he's not guilty, because yes, did he have relations with that minor? Yes, he did. Now, did he knowingly have relations with a minor? And was he then extorted on top of it? That's what they're trying to figure out. Right. Because if she was presented as not a minor, and he was led to believe that and moved forward like she was not a minor, and then found out later she was a minor, because there's this long fraud happening around him, and then he was extorted for false information. Well, now the circumstances have changed dramatically, and his
Right.
level of responsibility is not the same as it was before. However, at the end of the day, he still did it.
Right. Still broke the law.
He
but
still
just
broke the law, but he may not have knowingly broken the law.
Right. So,
I mean, it sounds like the mother could end up having far more worse consequences than Wander Franco has.
I think she's already been sentenced. I
wasn't sure if that was happening at the same time, but
it's yeah, I would have to dig, but for some reason I think that she has already been sentenced and is facing jail time or is in jail right now.
As she should, because what she did is, as Chad is saying, like what she did is basically trafficked her daughter, which is
the mother was found guilty of sex trafficking and related charges, sentenced to 10 years in prison for money laundering and commercial sexual
okay. So she's already gone. Got it.
So I think that's the other piece of that, is that they found the information that pushed him into criminal activity.
Yeah. So mom is doing a dime for trafficking her daughter. Now they got to figure out where that leaves Wander.
Right. So,
but like,
just crazy.
Reading all the circumstances, like, is he a good dude? Maybe not. But at the same time, like, he also might have been a guy that just fell into a really crappy situation, surrounded by really crappy people that led him down a path he may not have gone down on his own. So this one's tough for me because I don't know that he realized what he was doing was wrong in the moment. I think he realized after the fact, when he was then having to write checks to sort it all out.
Right. Agree.
But either way, I think MLB does not welcome him back. Even if he should be welcomed back, he won't come back.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Astros combined no-hitter. This is the first no-hitter we've seen in a while. You had Amai, you had Okert, and then you had Santa, which was cool. He closed out the game, Harrison, in his MLB debut. You close out a combined no-hitter in your MLB debut. Where do you go from there?
Well, you know what they say, Santa delivers. I don't know where you. I mean, for him, it was I came in, I closed the game. Like I did what I was supposed to do. I gave up no hits. I got my outs. The fact that it was the back end of a no hitter just makes it really, really cool. But that is quite the start to a career. And certainly not all saves will match up, but a hell of a cool way to start.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Brandon, maybe not the best topics after a great interview like that, but
what a downer.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. But yeah, this is crazy. This was pretty cool. But this is the first no-hitter we've had in a while, so love it.
Yeah, it feels like it's been forever.
Yeah,
since we had a no-hitter.
Yeah, even if it is combined.
Yeah, and Marty, fair point. I mean, not exactly a murderer's row of pitchers there, but not the best look for the Rangers.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. David Sandlin, MLB debut for the White Sox. 6 innings pitched, 1 run, 1 hit. Just a solo homer. That's all he gave up. Looked incredible. How are you feeling about the White Sox and their young guys and how they're playing baseball this year?
More impressive, the dude threw like 62 pitches to get through 6 innings.
Yeah.
He was in the strike zone all night. Fastball, break big. He's got a big curveball. He got a 97-mile-per-hour fastball that runs. It was just basically, here it is, hit it. He gave up a leadoff home run to Buxton. Buxton took in the first at bat of the game, took him yard, and that was it. I mean, it was just a bunch of ground balls, pop flies, and strikeouts after that. He looked great. And he's just filling in because of injury, so they're not even sure he'll stick around very long. My guess is that start will maybe keep him there a little bit longer. But though, I mean, I watched that White Sox game. I mean, they mashed. That was like, what was it, 14-1 final score? It was brutal. 15-1. They're that is that team. I mean, we didn't expect they'd be like historically bad like they were, but I did not think they would be this good. They can hit the lights out. And that was, I want to say, they had scored the first 8 runs without hitting a run, and they've scored the highest percentage of the runs all season on home runs in the entire league. It's like 49% of the runs come in by a home run. So they're showing as this team gets more experience, they can do other things. And their pitching is good-ish. It's not great, but it might be enough to keep them competitive throughout the year. I don't think this is a playoff team yet, but man, they're not as far away as it seemed. And some of those young guys are really starting to pay off. Mydroth hit a grand slam in that game. He looks great. There's a lot of things to be positive about in Chicago.
Followed up by a solo shot by Murakami right after Mydroth. I mean, so Murakami at 20 homers. We've talked about this before. This guy, it feels like, was kind of the jolt that clubhouse needed to kind of get out of the hole that they've been in the last, since 2020, really. Yeah, Davis Martin's another great young pitcher that they got. Curtis, great call on that. This guy just continues to hit, and 20 homers for him.
More important than Murakami, though, he's now up to 3 doubles. He hit 2 doubles in the last week.
Whoa.
But he is all gas, no break. That he's got one swing. It's one swing only, which when you watch him for more than a few at bats, like, you start to understand, like, okay, I get who this guy is.
Yeah.
It is one swing. He hits a lot of line drives, and that's why it's either single or it's gone. There's not a lot in between. But he makes some incredibly loud contact. Incredibly loud.
Yeah, they ain't cheapies. That's for damn
they're
sure.
Missiles. Yeah. That was an Oppo taco, and it was a laser beam into the bleachers. Like, I hope you had a glove on, pal, because that thing was coming in hot.
Yeah. And even if you have a glove on, no promises that it won't go through it. But
still would have hurt like hell.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Rookie of the Year, no doubt. Japanese Schwarber. Yeah, I want that on his Rookie of the Year plaque for sure, because that's exactly who this guy is.
Yep.
Yeah,
one swing.
And Marty, right. Dave Kingman, right. I mean, that's who all these guys are right now. But yeah, I saw this, John Carter, the sign bat that Ichiro sent Nishida. That was pretty cool.
Did you see his reaction when they compared him to Ichiro?
No.
And he was like, no, not Ichiro.
Yeah. No.
He was like offended they compared him to Ichiro.
Yeah, that's funny.
And he's like, no. He like really like aggressive. And then again towards the end, like, he said it again, like, not Ichiro.
Yeah, that's funny.
But like, Ichiro is such a god to these guys.
Yeah.
They won't even take a comparison to him.
No. But yeah, I find myself, kind of like the A's. They're that young team that's actually fun to watch. I find myself gravitating towards some more White Sox games than I ever have the last couple of years. So Murakami's a big reason why, and they got some young kids that can play some baseball. So they're not the train wreck that we're used to seeing in Chicago.
No, I mean, I picked up that White Sox game in the 4th inning last night, and I just continued to watch. I'm like, I can't not watch. Like, they're entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's so many teams around baseball right now that are not entertaining, but they are one of them. Yo, I'm all set on the Red Sox. I've watched more A's games in the last 5 years than Red Sox games. I do not enjoy the way that team plays baseball.
It's been tough.
Like we said in the last show, like, I'm at a point in my life where, like, I just appreciate good baseball, and if my team doesn't have it, I'll watch somebody else.
Yep, there's plenty of teams that do have it. So
there's a lot of good baseball around the league and a lot of not good baseball, and I just don't have the patience to watch crappy baseball anymore.
Yep, I agree. All right, Harrison. The Tulsa Drillers suspended their dog fetching program because the dog was going out to home plate like you're supposed to do. The runner scored. It was actually a top prospect for the Dodgers, heading back to the dugout, heading straight to the dog. The dog takes off to go get the bat. The player dodges the dog and tweaks his knee. So in response, they suspend the whole dog fetching program. Thoughts?
I literally had to read this article like twice when I saw it. I'm like, wait, am I reading this right? Like, some top prospect had his knee messed up by a dog, and now they're suspending the program. I mean, I thought it was a cool program. Like, I thought the dogs running out was neat to get the bat. At the same time, like, there are dogs, like, they do dumb stuff. They forget what they're doing. A couple times I've seen the dog like wander off up the line. Like, it happens. It was fun. The fans liked it. I don't know that one guy dodging the dog and the way he dodged the dog was weird. Not unless you're one guy dodging the dog justifies suspending. And I appreciate the fact you spelled it right. The whole program.
You know how many times I embarrassingly checked that numerous times.
72 times, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's minor league baseball, and we had a famous dog fetching bat. Oh my God, bat fetching dog in Durham and Ripken, and he was a fan favorite. Every time he'd go out to the dugout, grab the ball, fans would go nuts, right? Like I love this, and I hate that it happened this way, right? I hate that somebody got hurt, but the player was running straight at the dog.
Right.
I mean, that dog's been there all season. He hasn't moved. He goes back to the same spot every single time you drop the bat. Like, I don't know. I put this on the player. I don't put this on the dog.
No, and that's the thing. Like I said, like the way he jumped on the dog was weird. Like he ran in full speed, scored. He turned, ran back to the dugout. Like, and he kept running towards the dugout, and then like was surprised the dog was there and jumped. But he also jumped around it in like a weirdly aggressive way. The whole thing was bizarre.
Yeah.
But again, like I don't think that is the reason you suspend the program.
Yeah, I'm with you. It just John Temple, ruh-roh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I was waiting for the dog to run right into the runners. Suspinist. Yeah.
Like the one thing if the dog like ran at him or like was like ran out to get the bat, like, you know, Darren Baker and got to home plate too early and a guy to like jump around him. But it wasn't that. Like the dog was doing exactly what he was supposed to do and the player was not.
Yeah. Just it's silly. I hate
But again,
it.
like it's minor league baseball. It's supposed to be fun and light and for the fans. I get these guys are there to develop and they don't want any, you know, distractions or issues. But like if that was a bat boy or girl, it would have been the same friggin' problem. Like
Right.
the dog was doing the same thing that any bat boy or girl would have done. He was ready to go.
Yeah. Crazy. All right, Harrison. MLB Raleigh. We had them on for our episode 250. I think it was last August we had them. They are now rebranding from MLB Raleigh. They are now MLB North Carolina. So initially I thought Charlotte was kind of pulling back and just joining the MLB Raleigh fandom, if you will, or, you know, they were going to support them. That's not the case. Charlotte's still in the running. MLB Raleigh is just changing their name to kind of get the whole state behind them now. But they said Charlotte is the gateway to Raleigh, is how they kind of put this post out. But they are now MLB North Carolina, and they're really trying to branch out to get the entire state support. Did you have any particular thoughts on this?
I don't like it. I don't like it because and for two reasons. One, MLB North Carolina is just so like vague and generic. Like like North Carolina, like anywhere? Could it go anywhere? Could it Outer Banks, Inner Banks, Charlotte, Raleigh, Greensboro? Like we're just open to baseball anywhere in North Carolina. I don't love the North Carolina. And I know when we talked to those guys, like they had the goal of eventually uniting North Carolina in this push. So like I get that. I don't like it. And secondly, MLB Raleigh has spent so much time and energy and effort creating this movement around Raleigh that to basically stand behind Charlotte and be like, sure, like we'll be your little brother and you can be the gateway to us because we're not important enough to be our own gateway. I just don't like it for that reason either. Like MLB Raleigh has put a stake in the ground and has become a player on the national scene. And I feel like they're like, you know, bending a knee to Charlotte to be this unified front. But Charlotte still wants to be the billing, like we're the gateway. I don't like it. MLB Raleigh has an identity. It's a movement. It's got support. It's got backers. MLB North Carolina is not that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that the timing is a little off. I would have waited until Charlotte said, "Okay, we're out," and then fine, unify the whole thing, right? Because I love that they're trying to do this. I love that they're uniting North Carolina. They're not going to lose followers. They're not going to lose support. But I think I would have waited until Charlotte said we're officially out, and maybe they are, we don't know. These guys are way more in tune with that stuff than we are. Maybe they're seeing the writing on the wall. They've talked to their people, and maybe Charlotte is out, but they're just kind of unofficially left on the table. Maybe. I don't know.
Was Charlotte like ever really aggressively in? Like, I don't remember hearing much of anything from Charlotte. Like, there was no team, there was no marketing, there was no fundraising,
Yeah.
there was no ballparks, site selection. Like, I don't feel like Charlotte had done much, but be like, hey, we're here. Cool. Hey guys.
Right. I think that's more of fans seeing that, oh, hey, there's no baseball in North Carolina, and Charlotte is the city that North Carolina is known for. The Queen City, like you think of, name me a big city in North Carolina. People are going to go to Charlotte, right? Charlotte is the answer, right? Raleigh's getting there. Raleigh is almost the same exact size as Charlotte now, but just people's minds go to Charlotte's the biggest city in North Carolina, which they're not wrong. But I would have waited until there was an official announcement saying, yeah, we're out. But I'm still behind these guys 1,000%. MLB and Raleigh is the way to go. And we'll see, but love it. All right, Harrison. We don't have out of left field discussion topics because we had the interview with Jonathan Van Every. I have got MLB #1 overall draft picks for you because this is in honor of Bob Horner. So, pretty much straight up trivia questions, and here we go. Which Arizona State University player was drafted first overall in the very first MLB player draft in 1965 by the Kansas City Athletics? Hint, mostly known for a would have been viral moment if it happened today.
Brian Taylor, not Brian Taylor. That's a good one. Very first MLB draft by the Kansas City Athletics. So back in 65.
The viral moment would have happened for a different team than the Kansas City Athletics.
Oh, the Athletics not important to this.
Not Reggie Jackson. That's a good guess.
I say it would have been the same era. Like I'm trying to go back to guys in that era.
Yeah, Reggie's a great guess. It's not Reggie. So this is the very first draft pick ever in the amateur draft. Brandon says whatever John Carter says. It's funny. Think Cubs. That's where you would know his viral moment from.
His viral moment.
Not Pinella.
Was this like a baseball moment or like another type of moment?
It happened on a baseball field, yes. He saved something.
Oh, okay. I should have caught on sooner.
It is Rick Monday. Yes, Rick Monday. First overall draft pick ever, 1965. So nice job, Marty. All right, next one.
That's a good one.
Who is the most recent first overall draft pick to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame, being drafted in 2001?
Oh, wow. (2001)
Background
is that the Metrodome?
Yes.
Okay, I know who it is.
So yeah, yeah.
I was like, wait a second. I'm thinking back to like the time frame. I'm like, that was a segment where a lot of first overall picks did not go anywhere.
Not Morneau, but all around it, John Temple.
Partner in crime.
Yeah, Morneau's not in the Hall of Fame.
No. The other guy.
Yeah, the other guy.
The hometown boy.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he's from there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it is Joe Mauer for sure. There they come. Everyone's got them now. Yep. Nice job, Mauer. Good job, Marty, John, Brandon. Nice work. All right. Who was the earliest first overall draft pick that eventually became a Hall of Famer? 1977 by the Chicago White Sox. We love talking about this guy.
Oh God. For good reasons or bad?
Not
White
great.
Sox. I know.
Not great. Not great reasons. Yes, sir.
Yeah. As soon as I put the light went on with the White Sox, I'm like, oh, duh.
Yep.
Curtis, FSU all day. I got my master's degree from FSU. I grew up a Seminoles fan. Love me some FSU.
It is Harold Baines. Yes. Nice job, Scott. Nice job, Michael. Nice job, John Carter. And Brandon got it. Curtis got it. Nice job, fellas. Yes. Harold Baines. All right. These next two are pretty tough.
You played against Bauer, John?
Dang. We're going to have to talk about that in a month, Mr. Carter.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah. All right. Next two are going to be pretty ridiculous polls. I will be very impressed if someone gets these, but they were kind of cool trivia questions. Who is the only first overall draft pick to be selected that was not drafted out of high school or college? Happened in 2006.
Where else can you be drafted from?
There are ways.
Okay. I can't tell us what stadium that is behind it because the text covers most of it.
It is the Royals. This
was he
guy,
like international or something?
Not international. He played from 2000 to 2016, all for the Royals. He was he's 11-11 and no. Yeah, 2007, 2016. His best year, I would say, was he was 11-11 through almost 200 innings. It is a pitcher. Curtis got it. It is Luke Hokovar. Nice job. I think I said his name right. Hokovar.
I always thought it was Hochshaver, but
Hochshaver. You're right. It is Hochshaver. I just looked up the pronunciation. Hochshaver. Luke Hochshaver. Fort Worth Cats. So it was independent league.
Oh, got it. He was one of the guys that was already playing.
Mm-hmm. Only first overall draft pick.
That's cool.
Pretty cool. All right. The Houston Astros are the only team in MLB draft history to have 3 consecutive first overall picks. Carlos Correa in 2012, Mark Apple in 2013, and who in 2014?
Oh, wow. It wasn't Bregman because he was in a first overall pick.
This one's a pretty ridiculous poll. I would be. He's a left-handed pitcher.
Keuchel? No,
not Keuchel. I mean, yes, left-handed pitcher, but he did not make the club ever.
Oh, one of those guys.
The highest he got was A ball, so it probably not going to pull this one. But I know there are people that have ridiculous knowledge when it comes to to drafts, and here it is. It's Brady
What?
Aiken. Wow, Curtis. Yes, Brady Aiken is correct.
Wasn't he the kid they drafted and like immediately had issues with like his elbow or something and tried to like
Yeah,
undraft him
probably.
or just not sign him? I guess I should say.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, like draft, like there's some people that are just like NFL draft like savants and NBA draft. Like I can't keep that stuff straight. And there's some people that just know them.
I don't even pay attention to the MLB draft because most of those guys we're never gonna see.
Right. Yep. John Carter got it too. So wow. Yep.
Wow.
So
all right. I'm pretty sure he was the kid that like immediately after they drafted him, they found like issues with his shoulder, his elbow. They tried to not sign him or something. It was weird.
Yeah, not great. All right. Who was the first overall draft pick to win Rookie of the Year honors?
Who was the first overall draft pick? Crazy to know that. I agree.
Yeah, nuts.
I feel like I should know this one.
Not Al Kaline. You should look at the colors, look at the backdrop. It was Bob Horner.
Oh, we talked about that with Mark on the show.
Yep, it was Bob Horner. So, R.I.P. in peace, Bob Horner. And that's how I ended the trivia segment. And I wanted to show a little bit of honor to him by having some first overall draft pick trivia. So
that's a great one. Yeah, because Mark Frederickson had shared all those stories about him with us.
Yeah. So it was kind of pretty cool to go down through that list of first overall draft picks and see what I can dig up for trivia questions. So
I was talking to somebody the other day about, we were talking about, the difference between baseball and football and the fact like you first round picks in NFL are like in your starting lineup the next season, but in baseball, most of those guys like you never see again because it's just so hard to make it. And I love when they do like the recaps, like the first, let's go back and see where all the first round draft picks from like 2015 are. And like half the guys are out of baseball. A quarter of those guys are, like they made an appearance and they're gone. And a quarter of those guys, are in the major leagues, and maybe one of them's a stud.
Yeah,
it is so freaking hard to get there and stay there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. Anything else that the chat wants to bring up or that you have for us tonight, Harrison?
I mean, we hit on a lot of stuff, but I will say it's worth noting that the Sacramento has become incredibly active in expansion over the last week or so. They're actually preparing. They've actually got they're preparing their bid. They're going to unveil it to the public here very soon. They're actually talking about, ballpark sites, and Sacramento has come on very strong in the expansion preparation, where they really weren't even in it until they announced a month ago that they were even thinking about it.
Yeah. I think having the A's be there right now and them seeing the fans come out for the A's is making them hungry for it. Now, I don't know if I'd be interested to see what it looks like in a couple years, right? With the A's still in Sacramento, still waiting for their stadium, right? Because when does the novelty wear off and they stop kind of going? I mean, the A's are good enough to have people keep coming to the ballpark, but when does that wear off? Does it wear off? That's what I'm interested in Sacramento. But good for them throwing their hat in the ring.
Yeah, I think it's great. They got, as we said, like this is a chance for them to test drive baseball, see how it works. I mean, it helps that the A's are fun to watch. They're young and entertaining. So you got a good product to work with, but it's interesting. So in other news, Nick, one more thing for you. MLB made a big announcement today, and I'm not sure if anybody noticed, but MLB is debuting its first official cocktail called the Rally Cap. So the Rally Cap is Traveler whiskey mixed with lemonade and iced tea, and it is the Rally Cab. It is the official cocktail of Major League Baseball.
Isn't that just a spiked Arnold Palmer?
Yes. That's what we know it as.
Okay. All right. Well,
yeah.
Cool.
That is the MLB's first official cocktail.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the A's will win that division, like being the smartest kid in the remedial writing. Yeah, Mariners in
Yikes.
first place at 1 game under 500. God, we suck.
They're
Good
just
question.
they're the tallest midget. That's what it is.
Yeah. John, do they have enough market share with Oakland and San Fran so close? I don't know. That's a good question.
Sacramento is a decent sized market, but they're not a huge market. And I think that's one of the things that has probably held them back from being serious. But at the same time, the way California is carved up, like San Diego is one of the smallest markets in California, which is funny. You think it's huge, but it's not. Sacramento's 2.7 million people. So good sized metro market. However, you get into overlap. Are Sacramento fans currently, who are they fans of now? Are they Giants fans? Are they, who do they root for?
Right.
Are you going to steal? Are you going to transfer? Like I mentioned to Jonathan, can you change Braves fans to become Nashville fans? Well, can you change Giants fans to become Sacramento something fans? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that either. And that was a great question that you asked, Jonathan Van Every, because that you are competing for fans there. Like, are they going to be excited that a team's there? Sure, but how many fans do convert? Right? How many times do you fill that stadium in the first year and half of them are Braves fans? Like, yeah, they're still coming to your games, but can you convert them? I don't know.
Yeah,
but
is the hottest ticket just when the Braves come to town. Otherwise, nobody cares. Like, it's
right.
It's hard when you do have. I mean, not that the Braves are anywhere nearby, but when you do have an existing fan base, like how many people are you going to convert, or are you just going to be, an entertainment option for people that don't really care?
Right.
Stuff.
Yeah. So interesting, but all right. I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else?
That's it. Covered a lot of stuff tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you again to Jonathan Van Every for coming on, man. That was one of the best interviews we've had. It was so cool, just down to earth, really talking some ball and listening to his story. So really, really appreciate it. As two Red Sox fans, getting to watch him play and listen to his time in the majors and through the minors was absolutely incredible. So thank you. Hope he can come on again at some point, talk some ball. So pretty awesome.
It sounds like the next show might be from his pool. So all of us.
Yeah. So that'd be incredible. Just be like, yeah, we're just hanging out in Jonathan Van Every's pool for Sunday night podcast night.
What's he going to say? We show up next week for the podcast at his house. It's like, well, you invited us down.
Yeah, right. It'd be so cool. But all right. So nothing else tonight. However, Sunday night, 9 p.m., we have got the author of Interstate 85 and that whole Royals Cardinals World Series matchup. Marshall Garvey and Royals pitcher, Braves pitcher, Charlie Lee Brandt also. So we'll have two guests on here, talk about the Royals Cardinals World Series and everything that went into that. And we're going to go over Marshall's writing process through that, Charlie's career. It's going to be a packed show. So I can't wait for that. So come back Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for that. And have a great weekend. Enjoy your teams. We will see you Sunday.